I don't think I have a fear of being public.
Well, I'm forcing you to do this one. You're gonna be mad at me, but it's gonna pay off for us.
Boom.
Still trap.
Trap.
What's happening?
You?
Yeah. No. That's good. Glasses.
Yeah, bro.
Not
Hey.
much, man. Yo,
What kind of weekend you have, Trap?
How weekend? I wanted to make it down to Times Square, but you know what I'm saying, my connect, you know what I'm saying, I contacted them a little bit too late, so I didn't get to make it down there though, man.
That show worked me. They was on me about that fight for about a month.
I wish I'd have knew that though. I'd have been told you to get them joints though, man.
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to the emails, and somebody hit me the day of and was like, "Man, you going to the fight?" And I'm like, "Man, the one in New York now." He's like, "You know that shit's in Times Square." I'm like,
"Yo, that was."
And if they would have told me that a month before, I probably would have flew down and went.
It was a movie.
No, we would have flew down and went.
Yeah,
we would have all been there. It was a movie. So I watched that fight. Trash. It would have just been good.
I like
to be
that
down
fight.
there. Well, what do you like about that fight?
Well, so boxing, I don't look at it like
which fight we talk? Which one?
Well, I like the whole card.
All three fights.
Yeah, but okay, so I don't just look at things anymore just like a heathen, like a brute, where I'm like, oh, look at the two guys, they need to punch each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in the boxing, the whole production of it. So like watching Teofimo Lopez get out of a New York New York taxi as a ring walk was like incredible.
So okay, so you're looking at
that was fire.
Aesthetics of it.
The billboard on top of the ring the whole time. So even when I'm watching
fire.
I see what you're
saying. Let's say even if I'm watching a Devin Haney fight, right, which people felt was the least entertaining, which I agree. It had questionable entertainment moments where I didn't really necessarily was into it. But even watching him shut down a unified champion, you know what I mean, probably 10-11-1, I thought that was something to talk about, even if the fight wasn't as entertaining. But I'm not just staring at the fight as well. Like I'm looking at the ambiance, I'm looking at the ring, the Michael Jackson ring card people. I'm looking at
how the crowds interacting.
Yeah, the billboard on top of that shit. That shit was unbelievable.
So that was top.
That was amazing right there. The way it looked out there was amazing. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'd have never thought Times Square could look like that.
Yeah, it was amazing. I don't know why his name is slipping my mind. I know exactly who it is because he's kind of new into boxing. His name is Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah,
he's from Saudi Arabia somewhere. Yeah, they got the money to do that. Yeah,
and they sold out, man. And watching Ryan and Rolly, which I thought the whole time, I kept telling everybody Rolly was a tough matchup for Ryan because styles make fight. Ryan is not necessarily a guy that really relies on discipline and skills.
But did you think he would lose?
I thought he could lose. I made money.
So this is my thing, right? This is my thing. So once I seen that bet, once I seen Ryan lose and mess the bag up, it made me realize why the next day was the way it was. You know what I'm saying? How dude got on that bicycle the whole fight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what, the Haney one?
No, the Canelo fight.
Canelo one.
Oh, you talk about, okay, yeah.
So it was fights every day.
Did you watch that?
It was, I watched all three fights. So there was 3 days of fights, right? So there was the fight Friday, which was Ryan Garcia against Rolly, Devin against Ramirez, Tio against Barboza. And then they had an early fight that was there. That was Friday. Then Saturday, they had the fight with Canelo versus
Skull.
But really the best fight on that was the two brothers from Africa.
Oh, see, I didn't hear about that fight on that.
That was on the same card.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that ended up being a really compelling fight. It was weird because one guy didn't want to exchange. You know what I mean? And
was
the
that for a belt?
Pursuing him. No, there was a 10-round fight.
Oh, okay.
But it was two really popular fighters in the heavyweight division. And then Sunday there was a fight too.
I didn't know
with
that.
this little Japanese kid who been kicking the shit out of everybody, and he got dropped. People hadn't seen him in any.
He got blonde hair, like.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's really dope too. But he's been clearing divisions on top of divisions, and he got dropped. He was in a really serious fight, and
he lost though.
No, he won the fight,
but he got dropped.
But his shield of invincibility came off.
Oh, okay.
Because he had been just going through divisions, cleaning everybody up. He had been cleaning everybody up. So now he was actually in a fight. And that's the thing, like same with Tank. Like, if you don't eventually find a quality name that's a great fighter as well, you're gonna run into somebody that can fight. We always talk about that. Me and Coach talk about that all the time with somebody like Tank, where it's like Tank, he got some good names, he made some good money, but he's kind of missed really good opponents, like other Hall of Fame opponents with good names.
Is that because he was under Mayweather at first? We
could make a million reasons why. It just the fights haven't happened, right? No. He didn't fight Lomachenko. He didn't fight Teofimo Lopez. Those were two undisputed champions in his division. Tank didn't fight Lomachenko, who's probably the only first ballot Hall of Famer up to this point outside of himself, probably in that division. He got Ryan, who's never won a title, right? Which is a great name and probably the best name in those divisions.
What was they fighting for this fight? Ryan and
to fight
and
Rolling. That little belt that Turkey bought in. The belt that Turkey bought in.
Because they kept, like I was asking G about that, they kept saying 3-time world champion.
Yeah, they just make it.
Rolly.
There was no sanctioned title. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh is kind of trying to make his own title.
Yeah. Then another thing about that fight, like I asked you about this too. Do we give Tank a little more credit for those beating Rolly and after Ryan beat up Devin Haney and then Rolly beat up Ryan? Do these wins look better
Rolly
for Tank
beat up
now?
Devin Haney.
I mean, I'm sorry. After Ryan beat
Ryan didn't beat up Devin Haney.
What do you do?
Yeah, that's obvious. That's the difference.
No decision.
Nah, he beat him up. I mean, we saw some.
I don't think he really.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. So now the steroids beat up Devin Haney?
That's what it looked like it.
Okay, no. Now I'm not saying the steroids didn't play a part in it, but
that's why they took the win away. And that's why. And that's why
he couldn't dodge the left hook.
That left hook was tearing his
like just block. Okay, so do you think Rolly's defensive game plan was better than Devin Haney?
No, I think so. Again, I don't know because I never took steroids, and also I've never even boxed to the level you've boxed. But science would tell me steroids do a little bit more than just make you stronger and recover. It also means you can recover from a punch. It also means you could throw punches.
Now I don't know about that.
Probably not recover from a punch.
Probably give you a different level of aggression.
Like it definitely helps your recovery and training. I've never taken steroids, but it definitely helps with your recovery and training. I know people who've taken steroids. I don't know how it helps with a punch.
No. I think it can make you more aggressive too.
Maybe
give you a level of confidence because whatever happened to Ryan, he just didn't look confident once he got dropped.
But also look at how Rolly negated his left hook though. Like he couldn't even. We talked about it. Like Rolly had that right hand stuck to his side of his cheek. Devin Haney, it would be a lot different fight if Devin Haney would have just stopped the left hook.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying he would have won, but it would have been different.
I don't even know if Ryan threw as many left hooks because he got countered in that shot and he kind of fought a really kind of coy fight. But I really think the PEDs, I think that's the reason the rule is the rule.
I definitely think the PEDs help Ryan.
So again, to say that he beat Devin Haney is just messed up and raggedy. I can't do that now, especially watching these back-to-back fights. Now, again, I'm a big advocate of styles make fights. I'm a huge advocate, but also that Ryan did not look like the Ryan.
No, for sure.
Like,
no, you
and even Tank, for sure. And even in a Tank fight, remember that's a weight control thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lifting muscle, building muscle, heavier. Remember, Tank kept him, said he had to come in the ring at 145 and he couldn't weigh this much. So he couldn't cycle steroids in that fight.
But he definitely looked better in the Tank fight than he looked against Rolly. He did. He hit Tank. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Rolly controlled that fight, but round one. Controlled the fight round one all the way through.
I'm not disagreeing, but
Tank looked in trouble a little bit against Ryan.
Yeah, but that's because Ryan decided to throw caution out the window and just rush him.
So why he didn't do it to Rolly?
Well, he did. He got dropped.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I think Rolly just fought a better fight than Tank and Devin. I mean, and I do not disagree. A loss, we call it a no contest. But from a guy who's really watching boxing, who knows boxing, we know that Devin Haney could have done some stuff in that fight for it not to be that one-sided, even with the steroids and everything. Block.
No.
Roll.
No.
Slip.
No.
Come on, bro.
No, if you cheat, you cheat.
No, I'm with you on that.
I just care about the left hook.
It's a no contest.
I don't. No, it's a loss. They actually gave it. They actually pulled it away and made it.
No, I think they gave it a no contest.
Yeah, but I'm saying no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
I'm not even.
You got to look at the fight and you got to be able to critique Ryan. I mean, Devin. You got to be able to say
you can't.
You can't just throw it all out the window because he's on steroids. You got to be able to critique Devin.
No,
so
I can't.
Do you think that Devin? What do you think about Devin Haney's IQ?
But that was way before this fight.
Okay, but I'm saying, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't.
Did you watch that Ryan Garcia fight and think he had a higher IQ?
Who was Ryan having?
Devin. Did you think Devin Haney had a higher IQ after you watched that Ryan Garcia fight?
I thought it was, but I've always thought this was way before all of that stuff.
Okay, but did you watch that fight? Him being so you talking about all these world titles and all that kind of stuff. How many world titles did Devin have? You better at that than not.
He's a two-weight world champion.
Okay, so he's a two-weight world champion.
Yeah.
He is the
I'm not going to judge that fight.
He is the I don't man. He is.
And if you judge it, it's kind of like the point of why they made it a no contest, because they must think it's a lot more than just cheating.
So and you already know I don't even like Ryan Garcia, but if I'm watching that fight, I'm saying you could definitely tell a difference in how he looked body wise in those two fights. But bro, just block the left hand though.
No.
Yes.
No.
So you telling me Tank Rolly? So what do you think about Rolly's IQ as a boxer?
It's better, probably a tad, maybe a smidget better. But I mean, Rolly's IQ is prominent. Okay, first off, No Ceilings Live lunch hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here, noon Pacific Standard Time. Digital Soapbox. Click that thumbs up button. Let everybody know you're in the house. Appreciate that. If you're on Twitter, retweet this link. If you're on Facebook, share this post. Like, please on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please like. We need to get, I don't know how many people here, but let's try to at least get to 40 likes on YouTube. I think that matters. We do this stream to support the No Ceilings podcast. Releases every Monday. Tomorrow, a great conversation is released. Conversations that drip. Pete, King, it was fire. You know what I mean? Make sure you check it out. You can listen to that No Ceilings podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcast from. The No Ceilings podcast, executive produced by Charlamagne the God, the Black Effect Podcast Network, and iHeart. Shout out to the lunch table. What up, Fats, V, Don, Squish? Thank you for moderating, Squish. Tree, Ali, what's the deal? Clip, Nick, Noah, what's happening? Moses, Jane, what's happening? Brand, what's the deal, baby? New, Lex, what's going on? Look, Coach, I'm with you. I could try, but I'm not gonna do that. Like my mind is saying I don't probably understand exactly what steroids does and how it could change a fight.
Okay. All I'm saying is, and I get a lot of people saying that Devin showed a lot of heart in that fight. That's true. He did show a lot of heart in that fight. I'm not calling Devin Haney no bitch. I'm calling him, I'm saying I'm questioning his IQ in that fight.
I've questioned his IQ in fights that he won, but I don't know if that's a question of his IQ by not keeping his left hand up. I'll be honest.
Yeah, what? Okay,
I think it is.
Because I don't think it was as much as his left hand wasn't up as much as Ryan was punching through punches.
Punching through what?
Ryan was punching through
glove to chin.
Yeah, but he was punching through punches.
So let me ask you this. Do you think the steroids would have, if he would have blocked the punch, do you think the steroids would have made his fist blow up and then go through his glove?
Yeah, but again, it's easy to say that because it feels like he just was throwing a left hook. But it's a lot more to that. And I think that's why they...
What's a lot more?
Well, because he wasn't just throwing the left hook like randomly. It was like he was doing 1,000 things with throwing that left hook.
Let me tell you why
he was throwing that left hook in bad shots. He was taking bad shots. He would pout and put his fist down. He would do 1,000 things that made me feel like, I get it, but how the fuck is he able to keep throwing his left hook when he's taking these type of shots? How is he this big? How is he able to do this? Like, it was different. And it wasn't that Rolly just had this much better game plan. I think Rolly is a much harder puncher.
Rolly did have a better game plan.
I don't
like for sure.
I don't know.
Without a doubt. Because he did this.
I don't know. But
he did
the whole fight.
Yes, the whole fight had it stuck.
Yeah, but again, I think I've watched people do that against Ryan. It didn't work as well. He's won other fights, coach.
No, I'm saying not against a decent boxers.
I mean, he's only fought decent boxers the last 5 or 6 fights.
And he's
won pretty much everybody except Tank.
No, Tank and Rolly.
That's not the only.
And then Devin Haney's not even a win.
Coach, but that's the only boxer.
So that's 3 out of 5.
Yeah, but you don't know the other boxers, and you a boxer.
Yeah, I don't know the other boxers.
So I'm telling you, he fought other quality guys, and it was different.
I would have to watch those fights because you're throwing me off with what you're saying right now.
Yeah,
so I got to go watch these fights and see how they played out because the fights I watched. Rolly had a better game plan. He fought a better fight than Devin Haney. Devin Haney showed a lot of heart. Keep getting up off the canvas for sure.
I don't even know.
But why did you have to keep getting off the canvas?
Again, it's easy to say that with somebody cheating. I've seen people fight off Sherman. I don't give a fuck your game plan.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm telling you,
that's a good. Hey, that's
no,
it's not good.
It's not good. No, it's not because I fought people on drugs before.
A great comparison. Great comparison.
So my uncle's a renowned Sherman head. So at 16, I had to get down with him off Sherman, everything like that. He didn't touch me one time. Yeah. Now I'm sure if he would have touched me, he probably would have hurt me. But
imagine a trained person off Sherman
against another trained person.
Yes.
You shouldn't get hit with some stuff.
I don't know.
You still shouldn't get hit with his best known punch, the left hook.
I don't know, man. Again,
what fighter has negated Ryan's left hook and he still won the fight?
In a perfect world, they'll fight again and we'll see. And then nobody be on drugs.
I'm
really careful with what
Devin Haney come back and fight a better fight, then and he'll win.
I don't know if it's come back because if he was on Sherman again, if he was on steroids again, it might be different. I don't know.
Haney ain't gonna fight him again. Garcia lost.
Remember the fights we're talking about. The fights we're talking about, he couldn't be on drugs.
Yeah.
So like the Tank fight, he couldn't be on drugs because it was a weight restriction.
For sure.
The Rolly fight is after his suspension where they were testing the whole time.
For
so
sure.
He couldn't cycle on and off drugs. Remember, he's won every other fight outside of that.
Okay, I'm not saying that the steroids didn't play some type of a part. I'm just saying that the left hook shouldn't have played so much of a part.
I don't know.
Yes, he had 3 more pounds on Haney, man. 3 pounds extra.
Not just the pounds,
bro. The pounds make a difference. The pounds make a difference.
Make you a little slower.
No, the pounds make a difference. That's more pounds.
He wasn't countering with left hooks.
You know,
he was taking shots and throwing left hooks after shots you probably shouldn't be able to throw.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
How early did he hit Haney with that left hook?
Maybe in the 3rd round.
Okay. So if I hit you clean, I can't remember it was the 3rd round, it was a little earlier, but we said the 3rd round. If I hit you clean early in the fight, that's going to make me want to throw that punch more now. So how many times did he hit Rolly early in that fight with that left hook?
Maybe the 2nd round.
And it wasn't clean. It wasn't a good punch. It wasn't a great hook.
Yeah, but again, coach, you keep.
Then he got countered.
You act like they're sitting right here standing with 2 lefts, and they're just hitting with the left hook, bro. It's a lot of those punches were after punches you probably shouldn't be able to throw a left hook after. There was a lot of things.
Hey, steroids don't make you.
You don't know if you never took them.
I'm watching the fight. Like he didn't.
It's a reason why
they didn't do nothing special in that fight.
He took very bad shots and was able to throw left hooks after bad shots.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so he
did bad shots. Bad shots.
Mm.
Again, I think you're not.
What have you seen from Haney to think that those were super bad shots?
It's not about what I've seen from Haney.
Haney don't even sit on his punches.
It's not about that. And it ain't like Ryan has a world-renowned chin. He has world-renowned heart. The fact that he's taking performance-enhancing drugs and they were on the verge of saying you lost. This guy, not only that we're going to make this guy have a win, but you lost. Because that's what happened. It wasn't just a no contest. It was ruled over like a loss.
Okay, bro. So, like I said, I'm not saying the steroids didn't help.
I'm saying we don't quite know exactly how much performance it has drug. That's all I'm saying.
But as somebody who watched a lot of boxing in his day and got in the ring hundreds of times, I do know that if somebody throw a left hook at me, if their best punch is a left hook, I've studied amateur fighters and seen what their best punch is and try to take that away from them. You come into a fight and you're going against a left hooker. That's his best punch. You don't get hit with it 47 times that now. The steroids don't just say a left hook is visible now.
I don't know. Again, I think it's easy for us to say it when somebody fighting somebody on performance enhancing drugs. It's just different, and it's a reason why that rule is that rule. I can't. I got to be real careful with that because I'm starting to believe that shit is worse than I think.
And then and then the Devin Haney fight against who he fight?
Ramirez. Jose Ramirez.
Okay, you now we watched it together, so you talked about it then, and I kind of questioned. I was questioning that fight. I didn't love how he looked in that fight.
Yeah, but I didn't dislike it. I thought it wasn't entertaining, but I think if you shut down a unified champion of a prior division and you shut him down 11-1, that's special. Even if I don't like your winning, even if I don't like how you won. So he won 10-2, 11-1. That's special to beat Jose Ramirez that way.
That's good. It is good.
I know the way you put it. Yeah.
But no, I'm saying it's good.
Yeah,
good. It's not bad. I'm not saying he fought a terrible fight. I'm not saying he fought a terrible fight. He did what he had to do to win the fight. But the great ones, the really good fighters, they push the gas at some point, especially against a cone. Like at some point, you figuring out, okay, I'm fighting a cone right now.
I don't know if it's a cone because we never got a chance to see if it was a cone because he stayed lateral the whole fight.
We did get a chance to see if it was cone. There was parts in there where Ryan stood his. I mean, not Ryan. What's my man name?
Ramirez?
No. Haney stood his ground and threw 3 or 4 punches in a row and hit him with all of them, and then
so he
ran
should stop
off.
So he should stop right there and keep throwing punches.
No, I think that he should have done that more.
Yeah, but at that point, the reason he's landing those 3 or 4 punches is because he's always moving and he's keeping the Ramirez off balance with his movement. If he stands in front of him, right? If he stand, shout out to Lex. Lex said, "What the fuck is a cone?"
I would call it one of those practice cones where people practice against the cone.
He said when you're boxing, somebody is so stagnant and they're just stuck, like they're a punching bag. They're standing right there for you to hit them. So it's like a reference that people say in box. I've heard that in boxing a few times. Again, I think his lateral movement, that was the strategy, right? Keep him off balance because again, they're trying to keep him off exchanging.
No,
right?
For sure.
They don't want Ramirez to plant his feet.
But then at some point, especially in the 7th, 8th round, when somebody becomes less dangerous, their power is not what it used to be. And you start noticing, like, I can do whatever I want to against this guy. Now that's when you start doing whatever you want to against this guy.
Yeah, but also you have to have the IQ and the belief, right, that you're going to hurt this person. And I'm sure at this point, he's probably been critiqued the most about his lack of power, his lack of being able to drop somebody and knock out somebody. So they probably went into there. It looked like they conditioned to box 12 rounds. So again, I'm not saying the fight is entertainment. I'm not saying that. I agree. The fight did kind of lack. It was a little lackluster, but I'm not going to deny the performance against that type of opposition. And cool. That's it. I can't talk shit about. I can't look at the Ryan fight like that no more. I wanted to look at it that way, but I'm looking at it like, okay, maybe I don't understand PEDs. I don't know because it's probably a lot more. Because Ryan, the 2 fights that I knew for sure he couldn't be on PEDs, he almost didn't look like
for sure.
Be in a ring.
Wait, hold on. So you saying there's a chance he might have been on PEDs the other fights before?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay.
I know we ain't here to talk about boxing, but I do got one more thing I do want to ask y'all about this Canelo fight. Did y'all think, because I know you guys hear the announcers, they talking to fight. What's my man? That one boxer who he was commentating the fight too.
Sergio Moore.
Sergio. What was it? Sergio Moore?
Yeah. The Snake.
Yeah, the snake. Yeah. So, and he did not like the other guy. Like he thought he was basically 12-0, 12-11-1 possibly.
Yeah, well, that's that score.
So let me ask y'all, did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
okay. So when after y'all scored, I think that you're a knowledgeable fan.
Sure.
And Trap, when y'all watched that fight, did y'all feel like it was a 12-11-1 or a 12-0 fight?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. What did you think about it, Trap?
I felt like as if dude jumped on his bicycle and just ran the whole fight. I mean, he had a couple of moments where he would when he would try to engage, but every time he did it, he was what's his name was hitting him with them body blows. It was, I could see he could have got one round because it was like one round. I think what's his name only landed like 3 punches one round. It was like early in the fight. So, but yeah, I could have seen it being even 12-0 or 11-1.
The reason why I asked that question, the reason why I asked y'all that question is because me watching the fight, I kind of felt like that, like how Jacobs felt. Jake, you know how Jacobs was like, man, he might be winning this fight. I think he's winning the fight. I kind of feel like Jacobs. I don't feel like Canelo. I think he won the fight, but I think it was closer. I think that the first two judge scores were more accurate to what I saw than that last judge score. Because, and don't get me wrong, that dude fought like Devin Haney to me. Like he pot shot and ran away for the whole fight.
Except Canelo didn't fight like Ramirez.
But Canelo damn near did. Like go look at that fight again.
I watched it.
Man, Canelo, it was rounds that Canelo was landing 6 or 7 punches whole round.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a fact.
Like it wasn't like he was.
But that's not how you score a fight.
Okay, no, that is not how you score a fight. You're right.
It's not.
That's not you. That's okay. First of all, that is how you score an amateur fight. But how you score a professional fight? You score it on damage and ring generalship, and it's a lot of stuff that you scored on.
It's 4 categories, right? Is ring generalship, effective aggressiveness, defense, clean hard punching.
So what did you see from Canelo that made you feel like he was controlling those 4 categories?
It's the ring generalship, the fact that you can't control the space.
So wait a minute. So the ring generalship, you got to throw that out the window.
No.
How that ring generalship? He never cut the ring off. That dude. No. So that dude game plan was to do exactly what he did. Canelo never changed. You're not showing no ring generalship if you're letting the dude do exactly what he wants for the whole fight.
I understand that, but it's also you don't have to cut off the ring. That
you
person, well,
you do.
That
you gotta be a general.
That person has to affect their game plan, and then that person, right? Remember, judging boxing is almost like art. This some, when I did the homework and asked the questions to judges, they was talking about that. Effective aggressiveness. Like if you're not aggressive, like how he's moving to look to land his shots, if you let Canelo land, it negates probably 7 jabs, right? So like every body shot you throw. Like the problem with the Ramirez, and even comparing it to the Ramirez any fight, Ramirez wasn't ever hitting him. Like he didn't hit him till later in the fight.
I bet you if you go look at CompuBox numbers, he probably hit Devin Haney more than Canelo hit my man.
Well, they both was running for the 2 lowest volume punches.
That shit was crazy.
Lowest volume punches fight.
And probably in that weight class, I would imagine Canelo and them. I would imagine Canelo. If we go look at, because I'm pretty sure, I think they both landed like about 50 or 60 punches for the whole fight.
It wasn't the same. Like he didn't look like Canelo. Ramirez didn't look like Canelo in the fight.
Yeah, he threw more punches.
No, Ramirez didn't probably throw more punches.
He threw more punches. Canelo did not affect this dude's game plan whatsoever.
If your game plan is that, then you may don't have a winning game plan.
No, I agree. I don't think that he won the fight.
That's at Trap's house.
But I don't think Canelo effectively did what he was supposed to come in there and do either. And then people kept saying, oh, dude is running. At some point, it's the other boxer's job to make him.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, you both of you guys come in to win the fight. So if that's what you think is going to win the fight, your strategy lost you the fight.
So, and on 2 of the 3 judge cards, that fight was a little way closer than some people thought.
I mean,
so Canelo didn't even, if Canelo's job was to come here and skate by, okay, he successfully did that. I think Canelo came in to win the fight also,
but
in good fashion.
Yeah, but again, it's like, so everybody's game plan has to impress the judges, right? If you're going 12 rounds. Skull's game plan didn't impress the judges.
I don't think Canelo's did either.
No, it didn't, but it impressed it more. That's why he won the fight.
And that's what I'm saying. So,
you think it was favoritism, coach?
No, what'd you say, Trap?
No, I think they messed the Garcia and Haney joint up. I think Turkey made that call. So you better get on your bike, boy. You ain't messing this call.
Wait a minute. So you think Garcia beat Haney?
No. I'm talking about Haney and Garcia is supposed to fight if he won the Romero fight. You know what I'm saying? They messed that bag up right there.
You talking about that? Okay, you talking about Haney and Garcia?
Yeah, they ain't gonna fight. No, they ain't gonna fight now.
Now they mess around. And get Canelo to lose this fight right here on some freak accidents. You know what I'm saying? Now they mess with the Crawford and Canelo fight. I think Turkey was like, listen.
But like I told G, with that performance that Haney put on, he put a lot of money in Ryan Garcia's hands. Because if Devin Haney would have came out there and smoked my man like he could have, then even if Ryan Garcia would have lost the fight, Devin Haney would still have been like, all right, we want to see Devin Haney fight again. But now nobody want to see him fight again after that performance. And the person that we did kind of want to see him fight, he went up there and lost. So now who do you want to see? Who do you want to go spend your money on to watch Devin Haney fight right now?
Exactly.
That's
Nah. I mean, I'm gonna watch it because
it's a big fight.
I'm gonna watch it.
Shakur.
It's a big fight. It's gonna be a big fight. Rolly and Devin is a big fight.
If Shakur signed that,
I know you don't want. I know you ain't get all this punk ass shit you just did right now.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
Don't bring that nigga name up.
No,
let me say. He didn't cut him off.
He getting mad for nothing.
Don't do what you about to do.
Let me
Don't
finish.
do what you about to do.
Listen. Let me finish.
You and Charlamagne did the same shit.
No. Hey, you ain't even let me. You didn't hear me out.
Don't even bring his name up.
He bite my neck for no reason right now.
Don't bring his name up.
I'm saying,
who you talking
Shakur,
about?
Do not bring his name up if you have that criticism.
No. Okay,
for him fight.
Okay. So let me finish it. So right now, if Shakur and Devin Haney signed a contract to fight right now, it would be a snooze fest to a lot of people. Nobody would want to watch that fight.
His name up.
I'm just saying because he's also a guy who get looked at as a boring fighter. So if you now Devin Haney
as a boring fighter,
jumped into a
he
boring,
looked at as a boring fighter.
Yeah,
was Devin boring?
Yes.
So then, Shakur is a what kind of fighter?
Boring. He's a boring fighter.
Okay, don't say looked at.
They're both boring.
Okay,
so all I'm saying is, so if Devin Haney would have went there and starched my man like he could have, now at least he
couldn't have starched him in no word.
Could have starched him.
No,
bro. What are you talking about? Glasses. You got on them glasses you can't see. Like you ain't watching these fights.
Who else he starched?
Okay, so you tell me right now, if
he would have
fought like how he fought against Cambosis,
he would have been in a motherfucking war with a Mexican for
and
real.
He would have won it. No, because this dude ain't have to fight Cambosis.
You would have been talking about.
He would have beat him, and we would have been looking forward to
that
the next
fighter is way better than Cambosis.
We would have been.
Jose Ramirez is way bigger, better, and a better puncher than Cambosis.
Ridiculous. That dude, I watched them both fight. That dude is not better than Cambosis. That's why Cambosis, if I'm not mistaken, he's still fighting for belts right now.
Cambosis would beat the first off. Ramirez would beat
finish that. He would do what? He would beat the what? Cambosis would beat the. You about to say something? Cambosis would beat the what?
No,
the dog shit out
of Ramirez would dog Cambosis.
No, he wouldn't. No,
what are you talking? Coach, this dude could punch. He was a unified champ. Like, what are you doing?
Bro, I just watched them both fight.
Bro, he is not this little dude like Cambosis. He's not a little man like Cambosis.
All you got to do is bounce around in a circle, and
that ain't how he fight. That ain't how he.
Seconds.
That's not how he fight.
If Cambosis is the
Cambosis is a shorter fighter, coach, than fucking Devin Haney.
Dude,
he enjoyed a height, reach advantage.
So when you watch Ramirez fight, you think that it was hard to get in there, in and out against Ramirez.
That's not how he fight.
Hold up. Let me go look at Ramirez's resume, because you always bring up resume and shit like that. Let's see if he fought a bunch of other, I'm gonna be nice, cones.
He didn't.
And let me see. No, I'm gonna go see one cone he didn't fight.
Coach, okay, you can't make Devin Haney a fighter that he's not. Right? That's not how he fight. He didn't have to go inside and out on Cambosis.
Okay, what are you talking about? We saw him fight Cambosis and did.
He didn't have to go inside and out. All he had to do was be tall and stand over and punch down on him.
He fought that a whole different fight.
Because he can't fight that fight against fucking Ramirez.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. So you telling me?
He didn't have to use
hold up. So you telling me Devin Haney can't change his game plan? No. So you telling me he can't switch it up? So you telling me he could have kept his motherfucking right hand up against the
Coach,
cheater?
What I'm telling you, you should never bring that up.
Like I'm just saying, no man, it is. No, he got hit too clean with too many left hooks. So you telling me he can't adjust? He can't adjust. Is what you're telling me, motherfucker. Keep your hand up. Like stop getting hit in the face with that. You're a world-class fighter.
If you throw a motherfucking right hand and somebody throwing a left hook at the same time, I don't care. You can't
do that all the time.
Punch.
Some of them shits was just. Wow. And now he's getting hit with him. Like, why are you getting hit with this shit?
If you want to be critical of somebody cheating and then you want to say that this is the game plan, and you talking game plan when this motherfucker is awesome shit and they didn't reverse the shit to a loss and a win, coach, fine. I can't argue that.
You was arguing it. So you know what the crazy thing is? You argued me down when I brought up the steroids. You was talking shit to me, man. I mean, he just couldn't block the left hook. Now all of a sudden you changing your stance on it.
It's not changing the stance. I'm telling you, I have to respect that. I don't understand PEDs. I've never been on them, and I don't know nobody that's been on them. So I don't know enough about them. I can't judge the fight no more.
I'm gonna tell you right now, PEDs don't make your left hook invisible.
I hear all that.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, does it make it faster?
Definitely probably make it fast and it make you absorb shots. It's a million things. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not saying Ryan should have lost. I'm not saying Devin Haney should make. Maybe he still should have lost the fight.
He probably should have won. He could have won the fight, but again, it's different. Like it's different. It wasn't just him throwing the left hook that was getting him hit. The motherfucker was killing him with the left hook. Every punch hurt him. Every punch Ryan threw hurt Devin.
Maybe just put your
all that sound. I get
maybe
it.
block it a couple,
or just,
once or twice,
or just don't cheat.
Maybe stop blocking it with your face.
Or just don't cheat, coach.
No, for sure. I agree with you.
So I can't get into that. I can't get into that. I don't want to judge that fight. What I can say with Devin specifically, he won this fight, and to the point I was saying, I thought they did a good job. I think I really enjoyed the production of that card. I thought that shit was great.
Okay.
Probably
the production wasn't better than the fight stuff.
Only be brought to you at a city like New York. You know what I mean?
Fact.
Do you think Haney could beat
the production was better than the fights?
Definitely,
Keep it real.
Definitely.
Do you think Haney could beat Garcia on no drugs?
We'll see.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. You still got to see. You got to take. Devin Haney should have fought so good against Garcia to where even if he would have lost while he was on drugs, to where you would have been like, oh yeah, he's gonna start you without the drugs. But we don't know if Devin Haney could keep his hands up.
Well, that's not my.
And he's
fear.
a world-class fighter.
That's not my fear. The reason I always thought the styles of that fight was going to be different is because Ryan is a little taller than Devin, right? And Devin fights in a pocket. He fights standing straight in front of you. He uses his size. He's been a weight bully. He's been taller and bigger than everybody's fought. Even yesterday, Saturday he was 165 pounds. So I think I've always been hypercritical of Devin's IQ. I think he got a great toolbox. Like he's been taught everything there is to know about boxing.
Use some tools.
Intellect to put it together is different.
Use some tools.
I mean, to know when to use certain things, to pull it out is different. And I always been critical of Devin, but he hasn't had to do it. So I always thought the Ryan fight was going to be interesting because it was somebody that could stand right across the ring from him and hit him. And I think that fight is the fight that made him realize, like, I cannot just stand up in front of people anymore and just use my size.
So that's why you think he ran around with Ramirez.
That's why I think he used lateral movement, you know what I mean, the whole time to keep his feet not balanced. Fighting, you know, Mexican fighters historically have a stigma of not, unless you're talking about Oscar De La Hoya, a couple other ones.
So he's getting smarter then.
Well, he's trying something else.
More scared.
I don't know if it's
fearful.
Fear. I just think he realized he needs to add
boxing.
something else.
That's what I'm saying. So he's getting smarter though.
And
he added cardio.
And to coach, and the coaches in Trap Point when they're being critical is like he's not an inside fighter. Yeah. He's not that kind of developed fighter where he's gonna fight you in the middle and he's gonna catch shots. And I don't care. It's an IQ that has to happen to make that work, not just reflexes. It's an IQ.
So you saying he's too dumb to do it?
No, it's not dumb. Dumb is incapable of learning. Dumb is incapable of learning, but to adjust on the fly is different.
So so you calling him an ignorant ass world champion?
No, I think he's very
because he hasn't learned yet.
Well, I think he's very informed and educated. I don't think he's making the adjustments fast enough. So he has to. So
he's back to dumb then. Because you say he can't learn.
It's not dumb, coach. That's not the antonym. That's not the antonym of intellect. He's not incapable of learning. Being intelligent doesn't make you stupid.
Okay.
Like Floyd Mayweather could be uneducated, but he's hyper intelligent, right? He can adjust on the fly. Like if you inform him with the tools, he can adjust on the fly. Devin is not like that. He's different.
He just sticks to the plan.
You give him the game plan. He walks in and executes that plan.
Yeah.
Which is why I think his power is underrated, but his intellect is overrated.
So should he have better coaches?
I don't think it's something Bill Haney, his father, is doing wrong.
Oh, okay.
I just think he's maximizing this.
Would you say, coach?
No, for sure. I think Bill Haney is doing some stuff wrong. I mean, like, honestly, he's doing some stuff wrong because, like, I agree with Glasses. Devin Haney is a gifted boxer. He has height and size. He has a good toolbox. But there's a reason why nobody looks at this boxing the way we used to look at the welterweights of old or the fighters of old with Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray is nobody would call Sugar Ray some kind of slugger. But look at Sugar Ray. Well, look at what Sugar Ray did. He would move around, but when it was time to get dirty, he would get dirty. Devin Haney, we see him get dirty once,
twice, three times.
Who? Guess who?
I watched him get dirty against Ryan. I watched him get dirty against.
Okay, hold up.
Ryan,
fuck up.
Ryan.
He got Ryan. He got up.
You know why he got dirty against Ryan?
On the floor.
Now, I'm not saying when I say get dirty, that means I came outside and I chose to make mud pies.
Can we please stop critiquing? Can we please stop critiquing?
Nigga, you brought that up.
I'm saying, but could we please stop critiquing him on fight? You asked me when was he?
You brought. Then don't fucking bring it up. Then don't bring it up.
You did. You brought it up. You said he got dirty.
No, he is a dog. I give him that.
So when you ask me, did he get dirty? I'm telling you fights that he's been in where he had to fight.
I'm talking about when he said, "I'm going to get dirty in this fight," even though I probably could win it. Cambosis, he had all the advantages in that fight, but he said, "You know what? I'm getting in the trenches."
Yeah, but Cambosis is not these guys, so it's a bad correlation.
Okay, all I'm saying is, you know what? Ramirez is taller, but See, and you keep saying that, but Ramirez has less to offer.
Oh,
like artillery wise, like he is not the fighter that Kambosos is. He's artillery wise. I just watched this dude.
Ramirez would beat the dog shit out of Kambosos.
Okay,
he would stop him.
You keep saying that.
Look, Coach, all I'm saying specifically is I didn't spend enough time critiquing the production of this fight, right? Or critiquing the entertainment portion of the fight as much as enjoying the moment. I think it was a great moment. I enjoyed it all. I agree. In the Devin fight, there were moments that I wanted to go to sleep. But I'm still not going to take away the credit that he won. He shut out a pretty good fighter. I respect it. I respect him kind of executing this game plan. And I don't got nothing to say. On to the next one. Teofimo Barboza. I thought that was great.
They said that was the best one.
And that's my guy.
Because they both fought.
Well, again,
because they both fought. Because Theo was standing in the pocket every blue moon.
Yeah, but
even though Theo could have done the same shit that Orion did.
But
Devin Haney did.
Yeah, but
he was the more talented, quicker, better fighter.
That's how Theo fights as well. There's fights where he's standing.
And this is why I will go watch a Theo fight. This is why people like Theo.
But before we start picking on Devin and doing all that shit, I don't want to do that.
And you know, I like Devin. I want Devin Haney to be good.
But I'm saying then you're gonna have to get used to this version because at 147 he's not taller or bigger.
Will not get used to it. Can't refuse.
Then at that point, then.
Oh, so Devin came up a weight.
They at 147.
And he used to fight what?
135.
Oh, he
and Devin Haney should be at 147. Wow. You look like this was a undersized 147 guy. This dude is a 147 pounder.
He's still undersized.
Devin Haney might can go up another weight class.
Sometimes, fuck man.
Come on now.
Sometimes glasses.
Because you bringing this up to this high water talk in this boxing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. This is what you're doing to me. This is how I feel like right now. High water. When you be saying, we're high water conversation. This is how I feel right now. When you talking about boxing right now, this saying like high water thoughts. What is this shit?
Just saying he's not going to be able to fight those guys the way he fought the 135 guys. It's just not going to happen.
That is true.
So he's not.
Some of them he will be able.
There's not none.
Like some of the cones who in the 8th round. This dude touched you 4 times, and the time he touched you, they didn't hurt.
He's touching you 4 times because you're
running in the circle.
Lateral.
And then the times you said,
if you what? Stand in front of him.
Let me throw a 11, boom, 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 and then drop the 2 right behind it and hit him with every punch. If I hit somebody with 11 and then a 2 and hit him with every one of them, that lets me know like, oh, okay, hold up now. He's never going to move his head.
So no, he's not. But
he's on the line. He's dead on the line.
But if you stand still and start to just punch, he's going to hit you.
You know what it's called? It's called boxing. It's the art of hitting without getting hit. So now I gotta be in the pocket and boom, 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 and then watch one of his slow ass punches slip or roll him, and then come back with what I'm about to come back with.
That's not what he is, coach.
Like this is
not what he is. That's not what he is. This is what I keep telling you. That's not what he is. He's not going to be able to do that against some of these guys. Most of them
against that guy, he could have.
Well, he's not gonna be able to do. He's not gonna be able to do it. It's him, Ryan. When we first talked about the Ryan fight, I told you, you said, why you think that fight gonna be?
You don't. We shouldn't be talking about the Ryan fight. Remember,
you're missing the point of why.
No, the point is you said we shouldn't talk about it.
I'm not.
Why are you bringing it up?
Talking about the fight.
All right, don't say one word about the fight.
I'm not talking about the fight. I'm telling you our dialogue about the fight. I'm saying if you put Devin in with a fight that's tall, a fighter that's tall, he's not going to be able to exploit advantages. And at that point, his lack of IQ is going to show, which is why I told you I thought that fight would end up being good. Same thing with Ramirez, right? If you put it, Ramirez is a big old guy. He's not a little guy. They're not like Kambosos is 5'8", 5'7". This dude is 5'10", 5'11". It's like we talked about with Fury and Wilder. That fight was always going to be good because he was big enough to reach across the ring and hit Fury.
But you said that fight was always going to be good. This fight was not good.
I'm telling you, the reason this fight wasn't good is because he added a lateral part to boxing.
So, but at some point,
Garcia?
No, Ramirez. No, Haney added a lateral part. Like Haney doesn't move in fights. He pretty much fight. He tries to fight in the pocket, but it only works when he's fighting guys that he's taller
than. What's Devin Haney's best punch?
Probably a jab. Probably a straight.
His jab is his best punch.
Yeah, but he's not going to stand in front of Ramirez.
He could have jabbed this man to death and broke him down by the 8th round. He should have been on the verge of trying to stop this man.
He's never stopped anybody, even when he's fighting smaller guys.
There's a reason. There's a reason for that.
It's not because he doesn't move laterally every fight, coach. I've watched him push.
He doesn't have power.
I don't think So this is what now again, I'm not a boxing aficionado like Coach. I know the history of professional boxing.
Training right now for a celebrity boxing fight, though. Right?
Haney,
Sure,
Coach Haney don't got power.
It's not power. I think power is over. This is my opinion. Obviously, I'm not Coach, but my opinion is this, right?
First of all, look how Glasses is talking. Like look how he talking right now. I'm just going to
remember that. You gotta remember this right now.
Exactly. This is my opinion.
Yeah, because I don't have the history. I haven't fought amateurs. I haven't.
Can we get some likes for this, man? This is funny.
He talking.
Like it up.
He's
gonna show his true self in a minute.
This is my true self. This is what
I
genuinely
think. This comedy convention. I'm gonna say something. You're going. You sound stupid. Like
you've been through that already. This conversation.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, Glasses. In your opinion,
I think stopping somebody is not just a power thing.
Okay,
it's an IQ. You have to be able to switch. You have to see what's working for you, and then you adjust to making that thing work for you, or setting that thing up to keep working for you. Like I think there's a level of intellect that has to happen. That's like, okay, whatever he's doing, I know exactly what he's doing, and I know what's going to work for me. And you adjust and you make that thing work, or you set that thing up to keep working. Haney's not like that. That's why I think even in some of his greatest mismatches, he doesn't stop fighters because he doesn't ever click like the other fighters. Like I watched Pernell Whitaker, who didn't have a lot of power, stop people because he understood what worked for him and what the other person was doing. That's not like how you saying the 8th round coach is talking because like me, right? Like, or like any other amateur, right? Or somebody who don't know, or another fighter, he can see what I'm doing. So if I do the same thing, he's processing me doing the same thing, and then he can hit me. He can say, oh, I know Glasses is going to lean this way. I know Glass is going to keep doing this. So then he'll set me up. That's not Devin. That's why I've always, like way before this fight, I told him, Devin, we talking about 15, 16 fights. I'm telling Coach, I'm like, Coach, his IQ messed up. This is 6, 7 fights before he fights Ryan. 8 fights before.
Okay, can I ask you a question, Coach?
Please.
Is intellect better than power?
Fuck yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
that actually is a good question. It really depends on the fighter. Honestly, it really depends on the fighter. Because if you're a high intellect guy, but you have no tools, and you're a powerful guy who can gain intellect, who can get smarter as you develop. If I'm a trainer, I come in and I do want raw, just like any trainer. Any trainer want raw, like real athleticism. This is why trainers love when people who have played football or basketball, great athletes come in there and then they be like, we'll work with the rest. We'll train him and teach him and all that kind of stuff. If I come in there with a smart fighter who's slow as shit, can't punch, that type of shit, I work with him, but I'll be like, this is gonna be it's gonna be hard, tough sledding. So that was a great question. Me personally, I think most trainers would like a raw athlete to try to train.
With power, at least.
With power and all that kind of stuff.
All the gifts.
Because you got like the Paulie Malignaggi, who, man, had guts up the ass. And that boy will fight you. He would do whatever he took, but he didn't have a lick of power. And I think, imagine if Paulie had power. I don't know if he'd be as smart as he is. I don't know, maybe.
But Paulie is a 2-weight world champion.
But that's what I'm saying.
Randall Bailey, here's a fighter. Randall Bailey is probably one of the hardest punchers. Like, it's somebody I read about and studied, watched him fight. Randall Bailey is one of the hardest punchers in the history of boxing. Like, if he touched you, it was fucked up. This was recently, but it was other things he lacked. But then you take somebody like Andre Ward, who didn't have a lot of power. Not really necessarily the greatest athlete in the sense of flashy athletes. I think
he was a good athlete. Though.
I think his athletic gift is in strength. Like people talked about he's a really strong dude on the turns, but he didn't look like he jumped that high or ran that fast. I'm not sure. I never raced him. I'm just saying. I think back to Devin's point. I think Devin is an athlete. But I don't think he had a lot of power. And I think his ability to adjust is funny.
But look how you said about Devin though. Devin is a good athlete, and look what you could do with a good athlete. And to Glasses' point, he's not the
smartest.
He's smart.
I mean,
I think he's smart. Like, I think he's.
But I don't think okay. See, this is what I think. I don't think his ring IQ is the best. Yeah. I don't think he adjusts to fights well in ring, and I don't even and it kind of brings in what the game plan be in some of these fights too.
That's what I'm saying. What the coaches don't tell him.
And that's my thing. Maybe Ryan is so bad in the ring with his IQ to where it makes the fight plan look bad, or some of these game plans are not that great, you know, and when he goes into some of these fights. But I do think Ryan is a good athlete, and I think with a good athlete
Haney.
I'm sorry, yeah, Haney. I think Haney is a good athlete, and I think with a good athlete who can learn and do, you could become Haney. You could become a world champion and all that kind of stuff. Two-way world champion,
unified in another
yeah, for sure.
It matters.
You can't do that. But then you could take somebody who just has.
But is there a ceiling with a person like that? They can only be so great. Like they ain't gonna go beyond greatness.
Well, I mean,
who is the greatest fighter without IQ?
I think everybody had some type of IQ.
Floyd IQ is through the roof.
No, he's the highest IQ fighter of all time.
Highest IQ. Andre Ward, a B-Hop. Some of them guys like
IQ is through the roof. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you who is a guy who doesn't have, and this is me from watching.
Hold on. So IQ in the ring means you could adjust on the fly.
IQ in general.
Is that what you mean?
Intellect, in general, ability to process information and change.
To break down fighters, come in with good game plan, and then if the game plan falters, you can switch it up.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you who somebody who did not have a high IQ. This is gonna sound bad because he's one of the greatest of all time, and he had a good boxing body, and he had a ton of power.
Who, Foreman?
Phoenix Trinidad.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I'm in.
Trinidad.
Why you say he didn't have a good IQ?
Because he would get hit with the same punches every fight and get knocked down every fight. Every time.
Yeah.
But he was such a well-schooled and powerful fighter, and he had a shitload of heart that he would just get up. Like everybody fucking dropped him with the same dumb shit.
Diego Corrales. Another guy, great athlete,
everything, but not necessarily IQ.
But just the IQ is a little weird. You'd be like, "Come on,
it's guys who fight off heart."
Block that.
It's guys who fight off heart. Now, don't get me wrong. You'll see some high IQ fighters fight off heart, but they'll start like Tyson Fury. Like you can see Tyson Fury fighting in the last fight against Usyk. You can see that he found somebody that's probably smarter than him in boxing, and he didn't even know how to switch to just being a bigger fighter.
Okay. So his IQ wasn't that smart.
No, his IQ is through the roof. He's one of the smartest heavyweights in the history of boxing.
But he didn't switch up.
But it's sometimes you have to, like Floyd, like you just gonna have to. And I watched Fury do it against Wilder, where he just bit down on his mouthpiece and just start fighting. And you might have to take some of those fights like that. It's just kind of how it go.
Where you don't box, you just gotta fight.
Yeah. So it's just hard. We wasn't supposed to talk. This is 50 fucking minutes. We talking about this shit. Fucking boxing.
That was my fault. My bad.
Yeah. Fuck.
My bad.
Anyway, I realized I was thinking, why do black folks hate hip hop the most? Black folks are the greatest opponent of hip hop. What's weird is I think so. Like I saw a picture of Sexy Red wearing like one of the what is it called?
What?
The Islamic outfits.
Oh, the Haji.
She's wearing a Haji.
Yeah.
And she took kind of like a picture, humped over a car. You know what I mean, showing her butt.
Well, one of those on.
Yeah, and I get it, right?
That's not cool. It's not cool.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty.
She trying to get killed.
That's pretty crappy.
Yeah,
right. I get it. Right. Oh, shout out to Daddy O 86. It's called a burqa. She was wearing a burqa, right? And she poked it out on a picture on a Bentley, you know. And I thought to myself, like, or a hijab, or a hijab.
I said it wrong, hijab.
And she poked it up, and I thought that was a little bit in crappy taste. But then I saw this clip where Joe Budden was talking to what's her name? Candace Owens, and like I saw
I agree with it.
Say the same thing. I hate that.
Hate what?
I hate that the fact that they act like this is what people are pushing to black people. Like I hate that they act like this is some unique space that exists for women.
What you mean? What kind of space you mean?
Like where only in hip hop is women sexualized and
stuff like that. Okay, I see what you're saying.
And proponents of this type of behavior.
Okay, I see.
Like Madonna didn't exist. Like Britney Spears didn't exist just recently.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And they just find that same shit every time. That shit bothers me. And I was telling somebody this based off the same conversation. Yesterday was the first hip hop Independence Day. Feel me? Shout out to my boy Dot. You know what I mean? And bringing it home and all that old fly shit.
That's fire.
But I realized,
yeah,
hip hop Independence Day, because there was a minute where like hip hop was under a colonial rule, where everybody was following what they thought this person was doing when this person is emulating the cornerstone of street urban culture, like every part of it. And they chasing him to go back to the same thing. So
I like
that fight that Dot put up, you know what I mean? It was really important because it kind of shed that, oh, you can follow this person, because you can't do what Dot does. And most people are not even going to try. They're not even going to try to make music like that. Because it's too personal. It's too much of a thumbprint to try to duplicate it. Right? But all the stuff that specific colonial rule was doing, right, was easy to duplicate. It's easier to make things like that. And shout out to Hitmaker, Young Berg, because he talked about that. He said they all looked to what the colonial rule was doing to do their thing.
Are they coming after Dot now? Is the, or because you're saying, Black's the proponent of hip hop the worst. Are they coming after Dot?
No, because it's like, it's not, are they coming after Dot? It's not that. It's I'm realizing everybody who got something negative to say about hip hop, you feel me, is usually Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's been like that historically.
But
and
you
I was talking
that it's not really like, hey, it could be wanting more, wanting better for us as you know what I'm saying, hip hop fans and Black people and stuff like that.
Why can't you have everything?
What you mean have everything?
Like there's people in the culture that don't look like So Sexy Red.
Okay.
Right? There's a girl rapping, I think she's from North Carolina or South Carolina. What's her name?
Oh, Rhapsody?
Rhapsody. Rap is dope. Rap get cracking. Why do you find Sexy Red to pick?
Oh, to push out to the public.
For you to talk shit about versus digging up Rhapsody.
Rhapsody's not put in the forefront the way Sexy Red is, though. So if Sexy Red is looked at upon as being our representation of what.
So you think Rhapsody is pushed out more than Sexy Red is?
I think they're making better records on Sexy Red, but you have to also agree. You also have to agree at that point. It is because it's a record thing. It's not about somebody emceeing better, right? It's which records are better. Which records are catchier.
Rhapsody's won a Grammy. Rhapsody's won a Grammy.
I think Rhapsody is more of a critically acclaimed artist versus somebody making something that's viable for mainstream radio.
Lower vibrational that other people can connect. More people can connect to it, though.
I don't know if it's low vibrational because if you're not connecting to humans, then you're not high vibrational.
So Sexy Red just make content.
No, Sexy Red makes
good one, King. Good one, King.
It's not that.
Oh, you like that trap?
Yeah, I like that right there. That's exactly what she creating. Yep, toxic content.
It's not so you have to ask yourself why you're addicted to toxic content.
I feel like most people.
You got to ask yourself why you drink every Saturday and Sunday. You got to ask yourself why you smoke weed. You got to ask yourself 1 million questions about yourself that you don't want to ask yourself, but you want to look somewhere else.
I'm gonna ask myself why I'm looking at this car wreck when I'm driving by it, and I know I'm gonna cause traffic though too.
That's true. Trap is right.
Yeah. So then you got to ask yourself why are you a car wreck and why do you like car wreck?
I'm not the car wreck. I'm looking at the car wreck.
You're definitely car wrecked. You're definitely car.
I don't think people looking at the car wreck got to be the car wreck though, G.
Yeah, that's the car. I'm like, almost a car wreck.
But they could be potential car wreck looking
at
the car wreck.
They are. Sexy Red is not some unique person in this space.
So are you a Sexy Red the car wreck in this situation?
No.
Yes.
I think I don't think the car. I think the people staring at her is the car wreck.
So you think that? Oh, wait a minute. So you think the people looking at Sexy Red is a car wreck?
Yeah, because I don't care about Sexy Red. Like I just drive by all the time. Nobody's dying. Nothing's wrong.
So okay, I think I know what you're saying. Let me explain this. You're saying that the ones looking at it now became interested in the car wreck and became part of it.
I don't think they genuinely are interested. I don't even think they're generally interested. I think it has social currency to be against something, not to be for something.
Okay, so if not we, I don't give a fuck about car, but if people that are looking at Sexy Red are the car wreck, what does that make Sexy Red?
The person driving by.
But she got to be something. If the people are looking at her are car wrecks, it got to be something wrong with what they're doing then.
No,
What
they're standing in line and she's driving. And all they're doing is shouting and she's driving by.
No.
So
they're not but they got to be the car wreck.
What it is this.
Yeah, he's saying that they're the car wreck, but
I think so.
They're standing there? They're looking at the car wreck, and as they look at the car wreck, they wreck their car too.
But that's okay, exactly. Like maybe they looking at the car wreck.
But what would about Sexy Red's situation make her a car wreck? She's making probably more money than the people critiquing her.
Yeah, but some of the content she's putting out there.
You think we should judge it off that though?
Well, I'm just saying, what's your issue with Sexy
with her butt sitting out?
I mean, I think everybody in this room like pussy.
You know, yeah.
So if somebody said they like dick, you think there's a problem with it?
What'd you say now? What'd you say?
I'm saying if everybody in this room like pussy, we all men. So if a woman say she likes dick, we have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
So then what's our problem with Sexy Red?
So that's real clean and cut that she likes dick. That's it. That's all she do.
That's it. She said her booty hole's brown and everybody losing their mind like everybody's booty hole.
Saying your booty hole's brown, not saying you like dick.
Sexy Red is a little bit different.
I don't need to know the color of your ass.
I mean, you already know it because you have one.
The stories that come with Sexy Red is not the average, average girl you go find out there. So that's a little bit different.
I don't think there's no real stories of Sexy Red that are worthy of talking about. The fact is, Sexy Red, I don't pay her no attention.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
until she makes a jamming song.
But why don't you pay Sexy Red any attention?
I've seen culture that close. I've seen people that close. I know it already.
But you also frown on people who do pay attention to it.
No, I don't frown on people that
you call them car wrecks.
No, I'm telling you, when you start to formulate all your content being against another poor black person, that's weird.
I mean, I can understand that.
That's the problem I have.
So, but what if you're formulated in a manner that it's good though?
It's not the truth.
What's the truth? The truth is she's not unique to entertainment. She's not unique to space. There have been women in all different makeups of America, feel me, that actually sell the concept of sex or sex appeal.
So what do you think? What do you think they should do? You think they should just keep? You think there should be no space for Cardi Red?
For who?
I mean, not Cardi Red. For a Sexy Red.
Yeah, you just grouping them all. All the people together. Cardi Red.
I know what's on your mind.
Cardi Red girl. Cardi Red Minaj girl. Cardi Red Minaj girl.
So you got something against Cardi B too, huh?
No. Cardi Red Minaj girl.
I just think Cardi B is kind of dope, and I like some of her stances she takes.
The city Cardi Red Minaj girl. All of them together.
But I'm saying, do you have a problem with what Sexy Red is doing?
No, I don't really care. So
in that part, you shouldn't have a problem with anybody else speaking on it.
Okay,
no, I don't. My problem is they keep finding poor black people. If your concern is,
you think Cardi Red's poor black person?
No. So the culture that they're talking, whenever you pick on hip hop, you're picking on poor black people. Okay. And you're saying this person is leading people down a different path. And I'm saying that person exists culturally in street urban culture. So that person has a right to representation.
Okay.
Now it's one thing if you telling her, hey man, this is my belief on what you're doing, feel me? And I think you can do this. But to act like it's some unique space, like the other day, I saw a thing where they was talking about the TV show. And I was telling my homeboy Manny, he was like, oh man, I don't pay attention to that. What is it? Zeus Network shit. You know, it's a bunch of people and making black people look bad. And that just pissed me off, right? Like the culture of it, right? And it's like, well, wrestling is the same thing as the Zeus Network.
You think?
It's all contrived bullshit and messy tales where people fake fight.
I don't know. Wrestling
wrestling is to the T.
I almost feel like the Zeus Network is exploiting black people
as much as wrestling is exploiting white people.
No,
you know why? It sounds crazy.
I think that people go into wrestling knowing that it's fake, knowing that this is a story that they're telling. I feel like people, when they look at the Zeus Network, they're looking at that as us as a whole damn near.
I think that's what you're doing, except you don't actually do that. You don't believe that.
No, I don't. But I'm just saying, I think other people do. I think other people look at the Zeus Network and think that black people are like this. Like this, how all black people are
just like we think white people are like that in wrestling.
I don't think I don't look at wrestling and be like, oh, white people.
We
like
do
the
think
Undertaker. All of them rise from the dead. Like no.
So then the ignorance of other people shouldn't control how you entertain.
Never watched it.
Yeah, as I say, I don't watch Zeus. So I don't know what you guys talking about.
Well, I know somebody who
they got like that show.
The black female wrestling channel.
So you cool with the Vanny show?
Was that the one with Pop the Balloons and shit like that?
Shout out to Dan Sachs. White
that.
kids do believe wrestling is real.
You
okay,
I mean, for
sure, white kids do think wrestling is real. But when white kids get to 16, 17, 18, they don't think it's real. It's grown people thinking that when they watch the Zeus, grown white people think the Zeus shit is all black people. Like, oh, that's all black people.
I got a question for you though. You say you don't care about Sexy Red.
Kids also believe in Santa Claus, bro.
Do her stuff that she do, does it affect you? Will it affect you?
No.
So no matter what you do, you don't think it'll come back and affect you in any way, even with the bad perception people have of hip hop.
They're gonna have it has nothing to do with Sexy Red. People are racist,
but that won't affect you.
They're not gonna think we all act like Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about?
Go ahead.
Trap. No, go ahead. Trap.
I'm just saying. I really like your stance that you have upon hip hop when it comes to like people judging and punching down on black people. Like dope though. But at times you gotta really realize when something's very toxic for us though. Like you can't do that, bro.
You know what's toxic for us? Hennessy.
What? Yo, toxic.
It actually legitimately poisons you.
That's a good time.
You already know how I feel about that.
It legitimately poisons you.
Oh, you don't drink either? You don't drink either, Coach?
No, I don't drink, smoke, none of that.
I mean, what is having to drink versus us talking about truly something toxic?
No, you just toxic could be something could be mentally toxic to somebody though, bitch.
Hennessy is mentally toxic.
No, it's not. Toxic. Bro, Jesus had wine at the Last Supper, B.
Hennessy is not wine.
Hennessy is not wine.
It's
Cognac is not wine.
Alcohol. It's alcohol.
It's not the same.
Alcohol, bro.
It's not the same.
I like Hennessy is a little different than wine.
Listen, right? I go to a juice bar right in Harlem, right?
Vodka is wine.
Listen, I go to a juice bar in Harlem. It's a roots juice bar, right?
Sure.
And everything, and you can get a drink. You get a drink from there that's basically made out of roots and all that. And it's good for you, clean your system out, all that right there. But it also gets you intoxicated at the same time, though, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. We know some things can do the same things as other things, but that don't mean cognac is wine.
Trap said he don't care what you talking about, but leave Hennessy alone.
I don't care. I don't drink Hennessy. I drink Don Julio. I don't drink Hennessy.
That's even more poison.
It's all good.
So then why is it not all good when Sexy Red is just saying what she likes in her life?
But all right, listen. If I'm
so
drinking
nobody
Don
gonna
Julio,
follow you drinking Julio.
Hold on.
What's wrong with Sexy Red saying what she likes in her life? That's what she was wearing.
I'm drinking Don Julio, right? Me drinking Don Julio is not affecting or influencing the next person to drink it or a child to drink it.
That's a lie.
It's not doing that.
Okay, so Blast, let me ask you a question. Do you think that when you reach a certain level of fame or stardom, do you have a responsibility?
No.
So no responsibility. No, you could just
the responsibility, you have to take it on yourself.
What you mean?
Like you have to decide you want the responsibility.
But if you don't, you free to do whatever and say whatever you want to. And
tell people fuck with you when they don't.
No matter how the outside look at you, and how are you making us look or anything, that doesn't matter.
Well, that's the point, right? What could truly be the crime? The crime is we don't associate with.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I was saying earlier. You think people like Sexy Red we should just not associate with?
No, I don't. Look, if Sexy Red makes something dope, I'll listen to it. If it's not, I don't. I don't think she's doing anything that's that crazy. I haven't seen anything she did that's that crazy.
So coming out with a lip gloss line called Chlamydia is not crazy.
No. Buying a lipstick named Chlamydia is crazy.
But you sounded
both is crazy.
Buying. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it because if some people into that shit, that's cool. But whoever is buying it is sick.
That is crazy. Buying some lip gloss called Comedian and then trying to kiss somebody with it.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Shout out to Rough M.
Try it though.
Shout out to Rough M. Come on, you can't be on both sides of the fence. The problem is y'all confused. Well, I think that's what's wrong, right? Because people don't understand what the fence is about. Right. So street urban culture is street urban culture, right? I'm on that side of the fence. If it exists in street urban culture, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Whether or not
it's street urban culture
lifestyle. I'm okay. I don't have an anti-Hennessy song. I don't make content talk about how y'all raggedy motherfuckers poisoning yourself.
But everything you saying is true.
Yeah.
To you.
Well, it is.
Right?
I mean, alcohol is.
You want to make a
poison.
song about it, but you speaking.
And I'm not gonna make content about it. Imagine if I start making content.
This is content
shit.
right now, and you saying it.
No, this is a conversation. I'm not having a conversation.
Content, though.
That's not my agenda. I'm not going around talking about trapping them drinking Don Julio.
You just talked about drinking Don Julio.
I'm referencing it to the same poison that he's talking about with Sexy Red. That's even more poison. To push alcohol to human beings is poison, especially Don Julio, tequilas, or cognacs or vodkas.
You should have that
poison.
wine trap.
Can you drinking?
No, I don't drink.
Damn. Repeat
I
that
just
when
smoke
you need
weed,
them right
trap.
now,
That's
We
it.
just listen to Sexy Red.
I smoke a lot of weed too.
We just listen to Sexy Red. That's all we do. That's the closest we coming to toxic. We ain't
That's
drinking
toxic,
cognac.
man. Listen, and shout out to my man J1's. I'm a big I mess with Sexy Red. I went to a concert actually, with the Barclays too.
Oh, the
And when I
truth
tell
come
you
out
that,
now.
when I
Shout
tell
out
you
to
that
them.
Hold
was
on,
red.
wait, you like Sexy
Yeah,
Red?
the truth come out now.
No, now listen, my homies,
That's his project.
J1, yeah, that's his project and all that. You know what I'm saying?
He got it going.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like I support him, and then it was like I like Sexy Red. I like the production that she be having. You know what I'm saying? I just understand the impact of what could end up happening. But then when I mention that to people though, they say we always been going through this though. You know what I'm saying? Like we all about the same age. Little Kim was Sexy Red back in the 90s.
That's what I'm saying. Madonna was
so
Sexy Red. Marilyn, yes, Madonna was Sexy Red.
Cher back in the days were
Yeah, Cher to older.
Yeah.
What about Luke? Is Luke more Sexy Red than?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, 6 more likes, we hit 50.
Let's go, y'all.
Like.
Get it up.
More likes. 6 more likes. Click that like button. All I'm saying is just this, right? It's just I just find it odd that we always finding poor black people to punch down on.
But you keep saying poor black people
Because we're punching
Sexy
down
Red
on
is not poor black
it's not
people.
her. We're punching down
Are you
on
think she represents poor black people?
Yes, they're punching down on the culture.
So you think poor black people want you to know what the asshole look like? And so why you think she represents poor black people?
It's not.
She represents Zeus to me, the Zeus Network.
No, the Zeus Network is different because that's just World Wrestling Federation for black women. That's the WWE channel for black women.
If you're going to speak on what Candace said, you should speak on what she said, though. Because Candace said some real shit, though.
No, I don't think Candace said some real shit.
What Candace say?
What, you think Candace Owens?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
I fuck with Candace.
Sometimes I do agree
Candace.
with I don't like Candace Owens as a person. Some shit she says is ridiculous. But sometimes she says some shit that make a little sense. But let me ask y'all this. Trap, all y'all. Would you is hip hop more WWE than the Zeus Network?
No.
Yes.
That's the problem.
I kind of feel like hip hop is a lot of WWE also, man.
How is a culture? Are you talking about the rappers?
No, rap. Not hip hop, rap.
Okay, let me clarify.
So,
say rap.
Okay, so even if you think the rappers are WWE, I don't hear y'all protesting wrestling.
I don't protest rap.
Not you.
I don't either.
So then what are we talking about? So then why would y'all think that's okay? Like, I don't want to hear people. I want her to find somebody that's white to punch down on. Like, I'm tired of people punching down on poor white people. I'm tired of people punching down on hip hop. I don't like that.
So do you think that white people don't punch down on I keep calling her Cardi Red, Sexy Red, because they think they look at Sexy Red as somebody who they would want black people, young black people to emulate? Like they're like, oh, leave her alone. She doing our job for us.
What do you mean? Doing what job? They don't have to emulate. We don't follow rappers.
So
what are y'all talking about?
So you don't think, wait a minute, hold up now. So you don't think
what rapper you model your life after?
I mean, I'm not saying
Drake?
I'm not saying
hey,
man. If you don't stop with that.
What rapper you model your life after?
So you don't think young black people model their life off of rap?
I think suburban white people model their life behind.
I think for sure some black people.
I was influenced by rappers.
I sure was influenced by some rappers.
I always say this. I wasn't influenced by them, but the music became the soundtrack to what I was doing, though.
Not like that. That's just you being marketed to. Somebody selling you clothes. Tell me something that you changed.
But I think that is a little influence.
No, it's
a little influence. If somebody influence you how to dress, yeah, but you can be that influence you. How you dress.
That's hip hop lifestyle.
I feel like
I remember going to get big
there was a lot of East
because
Coast
of Run
guys
DMC.
who looked at LL and was kind of like, oh man, okay, ladies love Cool J. I'm about to go get me a big gold chain. I'm about to try to act like LL. I'm about to go out here and try to get at these women. And I kind of feel like it was I seen West Coast dudes pulling their pants leg up because of Wu-Tang. Acting like they was from the slums of Shaolin or some weird shit.
That's not, but again, by that same standard, what do y'all want black people to look like?
Yeah.
Do y'all want them all to look like Martin Luther King?
Oh, fuck no.
What do you think it should be?
Head up now. Why fuck no?
It's nah.
What, you don't like Martin Luther King?
What's wrong with Martin Luther King?
Nah, I couldn't have everybody being like Martin Luther King. I just couldn't have that.
Do you not like, because you said that shit like you got some disdain in your voice for Martin Luther King. Do you not like Martin Luther King?
I wouldn't say I don't like
Why
him.
are you thinking about it so long and why are you pumping around the answer?
Because I understand some things probably the average person don't understand.
Your name is King.
You know,
you don't like Martin Luther King.
I didn't say I don't like him.
Oh, this nigga King don't like Martin Luther King.
You know, this is how society does it, huh? They just turn whatever you say into what they believe.
Because then it starts.
I think Martin Luther King could have did more, and I think he was too passive at times. And if you really wanted to go into it, he just didn't learn until the end, and was too late when he got with Malcolm.
Okay,
but it was too late. Okay, you let them dudes beat you down, spray you, and all this stuff.
I get it.
I'm not with that.
Martin Luther King was an underachiever. I got you.
I'm with that. You know,
I got you.
But
shout out to Daddy. A good 3-piece suit ain't hurt nobody. But that's the problem. The problem is that white America is teaching you what you think a societal scale should be or norm should be. Like, that's what you're thinking. Like, who cares if it's a 3 good? But who the fuck decided the 3-piece suit was the thing to wear? That, like, who decided that that's the thing? Like, my problem is people see righteousness in whiteness.
I do kind of agree with that. I agree with that somewhat.
But let's look at it this way. Now that whiteness is copying hip hop, can you still say that?
No, because whiteness is not copying hip hop.
They're not?
No.
Wow.
They have something. If that was the case, then why don't suburban areas have gangs?
They do.
They don't.
I'm watching TV and they're doing so much stuff that working on news stations and shit like this and stuff. And, you know.
You don't hear white people saying that.
I see it on TV now. I hear them saying.
But you don't hear white people complaining about it.
No, they don't complain about it.
Job about it, but
no, they don't.
Of course, all these old Uncle Coons and
they don't lose their job.
I will say this though. Like at one year, I went to El Segundo High, and it was it probably like 5 black people at the whole school, and it was a bunch of uppity, rich white little snobs that went to the school with me, and learning how they act and got down. It was a little weird. Number one, they do have gangs. Like, they do have gangs. Now,
who has gangs?
These little white, young
suburban areas,
suburban kids, they got some little gangs. Now they racist. You know,
they didn't have those gangs.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So
they don't have gangs. They're not following creating Crip and Blood gangs.
I think
some places
the way they have their gangs now is a little different too, though. I feel like a lot of these guys who I honestly thought they were cool at one point, but after I learned a little bit more about them and learned they were part of these little weird gangs, they dressed like us. It was weird. They had baggy pants on, and
so you think their community is like growing up in Inglewood?
No, fuck no.
And what are we talking?
I don't think it's like growing up in Inglewood, but I think that they
are copying what we do.
I think they do.
Well, show me
copying somewhat.
Show me the historic rise. Let's go to Tacoma. Let's go to Lakewood and tell me a Lakewood Crip gang. Show me the drive-bys.
Why do they got to be a specific? Why do they got to be specifically a Crip gang for them to copy what?
I mean, because it don't have nothing to do with hip hop. Then that means they be copying anything that has something to do with gangs, and gangs existed way before hip hop.
I got you.
So, like, how do y'all always find a way? Like, we never blame Cowboy for outlaws. We never blame the mob for nothing. We never blame the mafia for nothing. We never blame nothing for nothing. But soon as niggas get their hands on something, it's them niggas' fault.
But can that be it though? Like, when we start doing some shit, we're vilified. We got the spotlight put on us. And if the young white suburban kids are doing the same thing, they don't get the same kind of attention that we get when they do it. That's
because again, because black people are doing it.
There are some white kids who are doing worse than some black kids, and they are not getting the same.
Except you don't see white people saying that about them.
Yeah, why would they? That doesn't make sense. Why would they?
Why the fuck are black people saying it about black people?
So let me tell you this: white people white people in their own community, they do say the same shit about these white kids.
No.
They just don't publicize it. They just don't live on the internet. And
you don't even hear the Mexican elite saying that about East LA.
Mexicans go each other too. Well,
would you say trap?
I'm saying
you don't hear right now. Everybody think LA is just black people fighting. Oh, them niggas killing each other. They don't realize that White Fence and Monte Villas are the first two street gangs, and they've been killing each other since the 30s.
So
and 40s.
You don't think that it's a difference if you see you don't think that we've been shown at a people differently than white people have been shown in America? Like, so if you walk down the street, if a normal person walked down the street and saw 10 black guys walking their way, how do you think they would treat them compared to 10 white guys walking their way? You don't think they feel a little different? Like, it's a little.
Because they're racist.
Or even 10 Mexicans.
That's because they're
No,
racist.
I'm talking about a black person.
That's because they're racist.
So you think black people are racist against black people?
I'm telling you right now. I'm doubling down on this whole conversation.
I think that they're naive. I think that they're being shown some shit that
it's not even naivety.
Some shit that we shouldn't be listening to.
It's not even just naivety. It's ignorance, but ignorance is also just as much as capitalism is the cornerstone of racism.
I think we look at white when white youth get in trouble, I think we look at it like, oh, yeah, slap them on the wrist. Oh, they be being kids.
Not us.
They being young. But the world, the America makes it like that. Oh, they're just kids being kids.
I mean, white people being like that with white people.
Yes.
But when black people see Sexy Red, when black people do some shit, but black people won't know that Sexy Red is some girl that changed her life, take care of her family, handle her business, work and all that. But instead, they want to talk shit about this black person, which is the point of my shit. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I was saying you gotta kind of speak on, because where we came from with the conversation was about Candace on what she said. She was just saying who was the person in charge of making sure this went out to the forefront and was put in front of us.
It didn't go out to the forefront. People are attracted to it.
But see, I agree with that, Trap. I think that people, we take, if 10 people are saying, first of all, Sexy Red is rich. She has money. And she didn't get
my glasses looking at
she didn't get so Sexy Red, bro.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, Sexy Red has money. I don't think she got all her money from white people. I think that she had to be accepted in black culture first. Black people had to accept her first, and then she branched out. So when somebody black says something negative,
why do y'all think black people? Why do y'all think the culture that came up under her and pushed her up? Why do y'all think that is?
Why do you think it is?
Because
it was so relatable.
Been there this whole time. It's been Little Kim. There's a hood girl who could be hypersexualized or sexually free, for another term, right? That wants to be represented in a space.
So let me ask you this: so you do feel like black people help push her up to where she's at?
I think all hip hop starts through black people.
Okay, so why do we? I think sometimes we have a problem talking about what the negative shit that black people say about these people and not talking about the positive. There's been a lot of black positive people positivity for Sexy Red also.
Ooh.
A lot. What, you got a bunch of women out here running around here women thinking they Sexy Red platforms talking shit. But see, that's the problem.
So then why is
and I'm sure that there's some platforms where I don't check all these platforms out.
Why is always the
Zeus Network?
The Zeus Network.
I'm sure women on there. I'm trying to stop cussing so much. I'm sure there's a bunch of women out there who's big up in Sexy Red. But the problem is, bullshit.
But again, when you have black people that represent space, they start misinforming white people on black people. That's what I don't like.
I feel like white people see somebody say some bad shit about a black person say some bad shit about black people, and then they think it's worldwide media.
Okay,
now it's time to push it. Like, oh, black people tearing black people down. Just push it out there.
But they would do the same thing if a white person was talking shit about the mafia.
Let me ask you this question. Is it because that's the only way white people is going to listen, is if somebody's talking bad about blacks?
Could be true. I mean, that's why Candace Owens is big, because she's been talking shit about.
That's what I'm saying. Is that what it is? Because if you say something nice about blacks, white people really won't listen.
Look at Candace Owens' platform.
Her platform, Katie.
I like Candace Owens. I like Candace Owens.
Yeah, a huge platform. She just had a deal with who's this other white boy who got a huge platform, kind of racist. What is his name? I can't remember.
The dude he be on Twitter. What's his name, man?
She used to work for that place.
Yeah,
that was a while.
But whatever. But no, she ended up getting fired from there. She ended up getting on this other guy's platform, and then he let her go because I think that she was not being as racist as he wanted her to be, and he kind of let her go.
She's slowly coming back, I think.
It's not coming back. The thing is, Candace Owens is a sister, but the problem is her content is built on talking bad about black people.
And you see how these white people can't wait to give her huge platforms.
So again, the
biggest platforms.
I don't care what they want to give her. They'll give me a lot of money to do a lot of dumb shit.
But you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, so that's my problem. That's what I'm saying.
Why are they doing it?
So okay, my thing is white people, they have a way of magnifying when there are going to be black people who are going to talk down about Sexy Red for sure. They're going to be black. There's those type of people in the white community.
My problem is the black people.
It's the who controls the media? Black people?
No.
Okay.
So my issue is the black people that's doing it. That's what I keep saying.
Oh. But you can't control that. There's always going to be some black people that's talking negatively about black people. But the problem is the platforms they get to do this.
No, the problem is the black person talking bad. White people are doing their job by being racist. Black people not doing their job by being racist.
Okay, so in that case, then Cardi Red should probably stop doing some of the shit she's doing.
No,
because she got to do her job. Because if you want these black people to do their job and not talking shit about other black people, then Cardi Red should not do some.
Cardi Red?
I'm sorry. Sexy Red got to start doing her job, doing some of the lowbrow shit she does.
That's not everybody does some lowbrow shit like Hennessy.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna tell them that. You ain't gonna stop Prize Pick. You're not gonna fight at none of the lowbrow shit.
But why do you disagree with what Hennessy doing?
Yeah, but
you think it's weird.
But that's not the point. I'm not building my platform because black people drink fucking Hennessy.
You wouldn't build your platform on Hennessy.
I wouldn't build my shit talking about black people drinking Hennessy.
Exactly.
Because I would not be talking
about. Why should Cardi Red build her platform? Sexy Red. Why should Sexy Red build her platform on what she's talking about?
That's not. Listen to what I'm saying, Coach. I won't build a platform talking bad about black people, poor black people, at all.
Okay. Would you build your platform peddling Hennessy to black people?
No.
Not talking. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's not talking bad about them. It's doing shit that you think is going to hurt black people.
But again, hurting black people is if I go out there publicly saying shit about some nigga.
That's not the only way you can hurt black people.
That's the main thing that we do to hurt black people.
But it's not the only way.
My problem is that's the start. So I don't like Candace Owens singling out. She ain't got nothing to say about Britney Spears. She ain't got nothing to say about Madonna. Or none of these other white people doing it, or none of these Spanish ladies is doing it, or nobody else.
I mean, that's facts. That's true.
So I don't want black people to be talking about poor. I hate when black people target hip hop. I don't like it. I never liked it since I was a little kid. It always felt wrong. Shut up, motherfucker, and mind your business if it don't make sense to you. Because you don't get it.
But I do think that you partial to this situation because number one, you came from poor black upbringing. You fought your way. You are hip hop, one of the most hip hop motherfuckers on the planet. So I feel like you cape up for hip hop or poor black people, and you look at it through your eyes. So I think that you kind of partial to this situation. I don't think that you're looking at this.
Well, I'm not partial. I'm informed.
Here's the problem, though. You guys is giving Sexy Red the responsibility of being an example of something.
Exactly.
That's the problem. You guys is forcing that responsibility on her, and she, like you said, you don't want a responsibility. Yeah. Who says she does? You guys are putting this on her to be a certain way.
I asked for it and I accept it.
Oh, okay.
She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with her doing her thing. Shout out to DJ Biggs. As far as topic question, blacks do not hate hip hop. Black hate that hip hop is became diluted and the bar is all the way down. It's not diluted. And the bar is not down. A lot of these things exist. It's just what you want to listen to.
But I halfway agree with him because I do think that some people have a problem with some Sexy Red type of shit and some, some of the other stuff that people will look kind of like.
But that's personal, though. That's a personal feeling.
That's existed.
But it's nothing wrong with having personal feelings.
But that's existed since the first day of hip hop.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not something new and it's not diluted. It's always existed.
Okay, so when he says diluted, I think you're looking at that at the definition of the word diluted. I think he's kind of talking about some of the lower brow hip hop.
It's always been low brow.
Yeah,
you're right.
But there's also been some high brow.
Therefore, both have always existed like they both exist now.
And I think that he thinks that people are taking a turn for the lower brow too much.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
It's always been the low brow that's been the most.
Where do you think it started at? The high brow or the low brow in hip hop?
First off, I hate the word low brow and high brow hip hop. I'm gonna tell you why. Because bunch of street urban culture, nigga, we shouldn't be talking about no low brow, high brow hip hop.
Okay,
that do come off kind of weird. Okay.
That's just weird. It's condescending to street urban culture. We talking about low brow, high brow. You not white. Stop doing that shit. I don't give a fuck what you think. Stop doing it. Stop trying to find yourself exclusive because you like this version of hip hop or this. You not better, nigga. You still like a bunch of niggas speaking broken English, nigga, and popping their shit at the highest artistic level as possible.
So hip hop is just hip hop. Hip hop is just hip hop.
Gucci is just as dope as Killer Mike. They do something different.
See, that's where you lose me at.
No, I don't agree with that.
You not white.
I don't agree with that.
That's what you said. You hip hop, right? You black. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm not black.
I don't agree with that.
He just said the shit.
No, that goes back to you saying that hip hop to you is a black thing.
Yeah, hip hop to me is a black thing.
Candace Owens is black, but she's not fucking hip hop.
But you just got finished saying one of your points was she's not white. So stop saying lowbrow, highbrow.
That's not. I'm telling you.
He's talking about the dude that said that.
Highbrow is somebody that when you start to separate yourself. If you in America as a black person, you have no business trying to separate yourself from niggas. White people do that.
So you think they separating their stuff from niggas by saying lowbrow, highbrow, hip hop?
You're No, that's not. You're separating.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm telling you, you're separating yourself from poor people.
Oh my God! But then don't use black. Don't use the word
black. Is black specifically.
Don't use black, man. If
Candace Owens is black, but she's not hip hop. Eminem is hip hop, but he's white. Beastie Boys is hip hop, but they white. Candace Owens is not hip hop and she's black.
BC Boys, I'm not saying that you can't be a hip hop because you black. I mean, because you're white. I'm just saying hip hop is a black thing, though. It's a black thing. You don't have to be black.
It was created by us.
Yes,
it doesn't matter who
created it. American culture. I thought we came up with.
But it doesn't matter who created it because it doesn't make you entitled and it doesn't have shit to do with just being black. And that's the biggest problem.
Number one, I think it does entitle us.
It doesn't, and that's why people don't get what's wrong. What's wrong is that you think being black is enough to be in the space. You don't have a respect for the art.
We should feel entitled about hip hop. It's ours. And we should.
It's a better way to put it. It's a better way to put it like that.
Hip hop, whatever, and everybody, you inclusive.
So Drake is hip hop.
Until you.
So then that makes sense. It's not even that. It's not even that though. So to say right there. Hold on. I'm about to say that right there. To say that is to say that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's black is hip hop, is to say that everybody, even the 6-year-old
exactly.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Trap. I'm not saying everybody who's black is hip hop. Y'all keep intertwining that shit and making
you
it sound
keep
weird.
Saying hip hop is black.
Hip hop is black, but so don't mean everybody black is a hip hop.
How?
It's hip hop. What are y'all talking? Like I don't understand. Like hip hop is black
because the certainty of what
y'all keep saying that. Y'all keep saying
because you're saying something.
It's hip hop
because you're saying some things that's finite that doesn't make sense. And we're telling you don't have to stay.
I never said one thing that was finite and that didn't make sense.
You said hip hop is black, so that means everybody black is hip hop.
That's not what that means. That's intellectually lazy for you to think that. Because that means that you didn't think into it at all. You just did it like a meathead or some shit. Hip hop is black. Oh, everybody that's black is hip hop. That's
what you say. That's how it comes across.
So give me the layer of that thought.
So if hip hop is made by us,
it's not by us.
Yes. Who is it by?
It was made by somebody in New York. And just because they're black,
no. So this nigga in New York was a white man.
They don't make you a part of it.
Okay, all right.
How was your connection?
All right, cool.
So I'm asking a question.
Hey, Trap, you're no longer black because you live in New York.
Hey, I think you snapped instead of him.
Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I think you snapped.
So New York niggas ain't black no more.
The problem is the concept of my issue is the concept of us that you keep using that doesn't fit, which is the point of this conversation. Us. There is no us with this lady. There's no us. There's no us with a lot of black people.
Us with lady.
Candace Owens. There's no us with her. Because that's why she's talking shit about us.
But Classic, do you understand how you take one person, Candace Owens, and then you just that doesn't make
there's a lot of people that are not us.
Candace Owens is not us, so black people ain't hip hop is not black.
I'm telling
you, we got Candace Owens running around here.
I'm telling you, there were black people throughout this whole time that never had soul food. Again, if you keep saying things that are finite for some sense of inclusion, they don't make sense. I'm giving you a finite thing.
That's absolutely wrong.
I'm giving you something finite. I'm giving you something that's finite, that's permanent, and you keep exchanging it for the sake of wanting inclusion.
Okay, give it to me. What's permanent?
Street urban culture is what hip hop is. But you keep saying it's black because you want to be inclusive, and I keep telling you there.
No. I don't want to be inclusive. See, you want to be inclusive because you said street urban culture is hip hop. Because now the mob is hip hop.
Don't they name themselves at the mob?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Don't they name themselves at the mob, niggas? What kind of rap do Wu-Tang make?
And I disagree.
What type of rap do Wu-Tang make?
I disagree. I don't think the mob is hip hop.
Just listen. What type of rap is hip hop?
Who? Gambino mafioso rap.
Why they don't call it just nigga rap?
What the fuck do that have to do with anything? That shit sounds stupid. So because they use some mob terminology and some talk, that make the mob hip hop now.
They named themselves after the mob.
Yeah, because they looked at the shit and you remember how you said rappers don't influence people? That was cap. That was wrong because rappers are influenced by even mob people.
That's two different things. You said
I'm just going back to show you how cap you are through our conversations.
That's not cap.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going back to show you also cap. You need to go back and listen to some of the shit.
Rappers ain't influenced nobody, and you just said the mafia influenced rappers. You said that's cap.
So let me ask you this. So rappers are only motherfuckers being influenced in the world then. So we just that dumb. Black people as a whole, just that dumb. We the only people that can influence. So rappers can't influence anybody else. We the only people being influenced.
So deep down this hole, man, you can't just catch the
okay, thank you. Now I ain't deep down no hole. You need to get down in this hole, man, and try to look around, motherfucker. Like put them glasses on, start looking around. Like, man, no, and I hate when you say that shit.
Because
stop telling niggas to listen when you saying some bullshit. Like, stop doing that shit. Like you
always could have done the same thing to you with boxing.
Coach, you just said rappers influenced. Then you just debated the fact that rappers influenced by talking about rappers being influenced. That's the problem.
Okay, no, that's not what I just said.
That is what you
That's not what I just said. That's what you just made it.
You said I said rappers don't.
I'm saying that rappers are influential.
And I'm telling you, then you reference rappers being influenced.
Yes, I did. That's me giving rappers credit. That's me saying that if rappers are able to be influenced, then that means that what rappers do are at least as powerful as what the mob does, and they can influence also.
That's not okay. Those two things don't even have anything to do with each other.
Okay, you just said they do. No, you just said rappers were influenced by the mob.
No, I'm telling you, street urban culture is one moving source of things. It's simple, right? So that's why everything feels the same with the mob, mafia.
Sounds very inclusive when you say street urban culture. You know that, right?
It's not influential. That's the point. When you say black is influential, that's why people think Candace Owens has a space.
I'm sorry. It sounds very inclusive when you say street urban culture.
No, that's actually a way you have to live.
Sounds very inclusive.
That's actually a way you grow up.
A lot more inclusive than how I'm putting it.
No, you're saying black, so that's the problem.
Yes.
That's the thing. No, it's not. That's why Candace Owens.
So let me ask you a question, Glasses. The way you're phrasing it, is it more inclusive or the way I'm phrasing it? Or the way I look at it? Is it more inclusive? No, yes. How?
Because there's nobody that's not like this that don't understand what's going on.
How is it more inclusive?
Because there's nobody
that makes sense too.
Because there's nobody that's going through this, that lived through this culture, that doesn't understand. They would never be critical to Sexy Red. There's nobody.
How is this more inclusive? How does that make it more inclusive?
Less inclusive. No. Because there's going to be a small group of population.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so 1% of the population. So there's probably less than 5% of the population that's living the street urban culture experience. There's very few people. There's more black people in America that lives the street urban culture.
Okay, so number one, street urban culture. So I would like to believe. I would think that there are way more people who live in the street urban culture than black people.
You're wrong.
Than black people. Because what does it take to be street urban culture?
It's really tough. There's not even a lot of ghettos in this country.
So okay, so here we go. So now you're just saying. So now you're putting a special place for blacks and whites and
for hip hop. That's what the culture.
So the special 1% include whites and everybody.
It's going to be in the same.
Okay,
place.
cool. I'm just getting you. All right, cool. All right, your white hip hop. I'm gonna let you get back to your white hip hop. Go ahead.
It's not white. It's street.
Go ahead. Get back to your white hip hop. All right, go on.
It's street hip hop, coach. It's street hip hop. But that's the problem when you bring people like Candace Owens in the conversation. That's the problem.
So you feel she shouldn't have a voice within what's going on in hip hop because she's not hip hop?
I don't think I don't. This is not even a hip hop conversation. This is actually a black conversation now. This is a black woman and black people finding hip hop to punch down on.
Did Joe punch down on them too?
No.
With Candace?
No.
No. No. But I think you gotta dive more into the clip because it was just like what I got from what she was saying was like who was the person who basically was the that seen this act as being something that needed to be put out there to the public, like who was behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was saying. She was like, it's like I wanted to see who was behind putting her as one of the top faces, you know what I'm saying?
But why is that your problem? Out of everything that could be a problem, why is your problem was what they doing for some poor black girl from St. Louis? Shut your stupid ass up, man.
No.
Shut up. That's the same issue I have with Kanye. That's my same issue I have with all of these.
Candace, keep talking, Candace.
No, because if it comes out, if it was to come out that it was the Klan was behind this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't matter.
And they was pushing it.
It wouldn't matter. How the fuck can helping one poor black girl be a problem?
Because it can affect 100,000 other black girls. What are you talking about, bro?
How can it affect 100,000?
You help out one black girl to affect 100,000 black girls.
So Michelle Obama was the president wife for 8 years.
First lady.
Shut the trap. Stop.
Okay, but what was your point though? You said Michelle Obama. Then what's your point behind it?
Michelle Obama. What's that?
I'm just telling you that there have been the constant every end of blackness in mainstream audience, in mainstream media.
Okay.
Why are you picking poor black people to punch down on?
So they should be picking black people to lift up?
Yes. If you don't want to lift Sexy Red up, why are you finding that? Like, how are you going to talk shit? Why are you talking about somebody pouring black that's coming through? Like, this shit's stupid. Shut the fuck up,
bro.
Huh?
She's not poor no more. So now
I don't give a fuck whatever she is. If people either let people like her or don't let people like her, but find somebody else to talk about. Shut your ass up. Talk about poor black people.
But look, I agree with you to a certain extent as far as I don't think black people should be talking negatively, especially out loud to the public. I feel like every race, whatever, have problems. They
except they don't talk shit about their problems.
Okay, no, but see, that's my thing. Every race talks shit about their problems, but it's just not. It's not vilified and demonized like our problems are.
Well, who made they whole?
Nigga, they talk shit about their problems every day because when Republicans and Democrats, that's a white thing. So when they talk about that shit every motherfucking day.
Coach, show me the end of the career. Show me everybody talking shit about Martin Scorsese when he's made nothing but street urban films about white crime and white life. Show me the negative. Show me the criticism.
First of all, if I went to go look that shit up, I could find some criticism for sure.
We'll give it to me.
It's not 100%.
He said, bring it to him.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not about to go look up criticism of Martin Scorsese, but I could. It's very easy.
He said, bring it up.
Well, very easy. Who's financing that?
Okay, that's my point though. That's my point. You will find criticism about the stuff Martin has done, but it's just not going to be put out on a big scale. Like, somebody say something bad about Sexy Red, a black person especially. Yeah, now it's big news. It's public because they like that. They want that. They want us to look bad talking about each other.
No, that's because you're talking about somebody. You know what white people ain't doing? They funding Martin Scorsese movie. But nobody's saying why they funding. You don't hear white people saying
we funded Sexy Red.
No, you just said somebody else. He just said the Klan is funding it.
I didn't. What I said was,
he said, what if the Klan is funding it?
No. What I said
what if the Boule is funding? What if the Boule is funding Martin Scorsese? What the fuck?
What she was saying
to make white people look bad. Let's make this Godfather film in the 50s and 60s.
She wanted to figure out
this John Wick movie. So the Boule is funding John Wick too? We need to show white people killing each other. What in the fuck kind of strategy is that?
Every time I don't eat breakfast, you come here acting the goddamn food. Like I be coming here weak. I'm about to like you. Every time I don't eat, you come in here acting crazy and shit.
So Jay-Z, Puff, what other black people? All the rich black people funding John Wick. We need to show white people killing each other. That way they go just what the fuck?
I'm gonna eat every morning.
What the fuck? The Klan is funding hip hop. Well, who the fuck is funding John Wick and Godfather? Who came up with that idea? Which black group came up with that idea? You know what? We need to throw these white people off. Let's show them white men killing each other over dumbass shit and shooting each other up at the motherfucking traffic stops and shooting, and then the dad stay alive and then the son kill it. Who the fuck's bright idea was that?
Hold on, let me clear
Who
this up
started
real quick.
funding? So where's black people started funding cowboy movies where they were just robbing each other all the time in trains and gunning shit down and on horses? Who was funding that? Why we don't never ask that? Why is it when the poor black lady get funded? That's the question we ask. We ain't never one time asked who funded Martin Scorsese.
I believe
because of the message, big. Because of the message.
But nobody give a fuck about that.
No,
question.
there's no white people asking those questions.
It's probably some white people asking these questions.
No, they're not.
And okay, first of all, white women ask everything.
They just ask.
White women ask all the questions.
Sure, but they don't really care.
They ask, and nobody ain't gonna publicize the shit either. It's white women asking questions about everything. White women are the first. White women are the people who got the balls to come ask you about your hair. Can I touch that shit?
I hate that shit.
White women gonna ask questions about it all.
Shout out to Fatima. I was in the park with them, and many of us went on to college, and we are those who embrace all aspects of exactly. That's what I'm saying. Fatima's a perfect example. Most black people that I grew up with that went to college, they still love people the same. They realized that the opportunity was different. They made the most. They had success and they did well, but they still don't spit on hip hop. If it ain't their version of street urban culture, and they just not fucking with it. Like
you get sensitive about street urban culture, poor black people, and when anybody say anything about it, your ass put on that goddamn super C suit and come out there and put his cape on and here come
super C suit.
Yeah, here comes Culture Man, and
that's true.
And yeah, he come out here
because if I don't defend poor black people, who is? Who is? You got every nigga making you feel like shit if you don't have it. You got every nigga telling you ain't shit if you broke. You got all these niggas telling you this shit. Who the fuck is gonna stand up for poor black people if hip hop doesn't? This was the last thing that we had left that stood up for poor black people. Hey. Now we taking that away. We making that shit rich, exclusive, ritzy. So now who the fuck poor black people got to stand up for?
No,
like who gonna stand up for poor black people?
This is how Glasses get you though. Glasses say a bunch of shit. He go up on these little 2-minute tantrums, and they be beautiful. They be great. You be like, I agree with everything, all that shit. And then he hit you with some bullshit out the blue, sideswipe you with the bullshit. And then he throw me off. That's the problem. I agree with everything Glasses said. And he
leg sweep you.
He gonna say some bullshit.
How'd he throw you off now?
Like I said, he always throw me off with this hip hop, street urban, everybody, all that shit, that inclusive, all that type of shit. He always throw me off with that shit, and then he throw me off with the fact that there's no room. Okay, so let me ask you this: in your mind, how do you police poor black people? Like how? Because you think we should police ourselves, right?
The police exist.
Huh? What you say?
The police exist.
No, I'm talking about, but you don't fuck the police. You don't want the police policing us.
No, I never said that.
Okay, I'm saying fuck the police.
I never said about
the police.
I'm saying the police exist. So what's the extra police for?
Okay,
who police is rich black people?
Okay, no, okay, wait a minute. So you think that you said black people should police themselves? That's what you said, right?
I said in the perfect world, that's how I would have it.
Okay, so and I agree with you there. I think that we should. You already know how I think. I think it should be survival of the fittest.
That's
no weapons.
That's not what
survival of the fittest. Let everybody go out there.
Then that wouldn't be fit because some people are mentally fit.
All right, try to use that mental shit for that last piece. Anyway, all I'm saying is, how do we police poor black culture if we can't speak on it ever? If we can't say nothing about it?
What do you mean? If
you think everything that's going on in poor black culture and with poor black people with that, you think everything is right about it?
No, I think that it's standard for poor people to behave a certain way.
But you would change some shit, wouldn't you? Would you? Some of our actions, you wouldn't be like, hey man, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that.
He's saying that now we shouldn't put down other blacks.
No, but that's the only thing he's saying that from a person saying that they would change some stuff about what. So if somebody come out,
I wouldn't change anything Sexy Red is doing.
Okay, so for this Sexy Red, if a black person came out and said, as a unit, as a whole, we should not do this shit. Would you have a problem with that? If you agreed with it,
what's the shit?
Not drink Hennessy.
Oh, he wouldn't have no problem if they said let's not drink.
I wouldn't say nothing.
See, here we go. See, that's the problem with Glasses. He refused to say anything about poor black people at all.
I wouldn't say nothing because I understand why they're drinking Hennessy.
Play out.
Yeah. I understand. Listen, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't try drugs, I don't drink coffee. But I also understand why other people drink. That's why I don't say shit about it. I get why other people drink.
Why?
Just because you get why they drink don't make you think it's right.
Because they don't.
What's the reason?
Like
Your ass can't wait to call a nigga weak for drinking and all.
I've never called a man weak.
I'm pretty sure you called Trap stupid or something.
I've never called Trap stupid.
I'm pretty sure you said when you talked about the Hennessy and the drink, I'm pretty sure you called.
That was crazy. And he picked the wrong drink too. That was the crazy.
Yes, exactly.
I never called Trap stupid for drinking.
Just assume because I'm black, I drink Hennessy. That was just crazy. I think that's racist.
No.
Right
or one of them. Don, you either drink the
Hennessy.
cognac, the French man, or the Mexican man.
Drink that. You drink them 40s. That's what you should have said.
That's how white people do it, huh?
That's how white people do it. Yeah.
No, what I'm telling him is there's real poison out here that we don't speak up against.
Okay.
And then we're calling Sexy Red poison.
Is the only real poison out there for us white.
Yes.
White poison.
Yes.
But you good with them being including hip hop. You like this poison with us.
Well, I think again, there are some white people that are decent. And they're usually poor.
Okay.
Poor white people, they be okay till they get some money.
Okay. So you said, but so basically, because when you get money, they say it is it accentuates what was already in you. So they was already. So you telling me they're not decent? Yeah, they basically not decent.
They just wake up. Well, again, they have to perform decent. They have to act decent for a while. So they get some money.
But it's an act though. It's a performance.
Well, I think they be thinking they decent.
But you know.
Well, my problem is I think black people feel the same way. That's my problem. And I think as soon as I get some money, they start acting like white people.
So you telling me right now, if somebody came up and said, "Hey, Glasses, we love how you take up for poor black people. We love what you're doing, how you the voice for the voiceless. You out there talking, speaking up for us and all that type of shit. Hey, we want to make you the president of poor black people. We want you to give us some rules."
That sounds like a horrible nation.
Like movie right here. This movie, we want to make you the president of poor black people.
The president of poor black
people.
Hey, so how you got any tidbits for us how we should live our lives or how we should work? Could you speak on it then? Could you be like, "Hey man, okay, so look, I love y'all as a whole, but there's some stuff we got to change here." Would you just be like, "You know what? Hey guys, I understand what y'all doing out here in these streets.
Live your life.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I don't need no money. I give people my
water.
thought all the time. I'm hypercritical of gangs letting everybody in. I'll be like, y'all shouldn't let them in. I'm less hypercritical of black people trying to join gangs. I'm more hypercritical of black people letting niggas in gangs.
So what if somebody came out against you and was like, "This nigga Glass is always talking about us letting gang people in gangs and talking shit about the gangs and all this type of shit"? Would you feel like they had a point? Because you
sure
would they think that if they punching down on poor black people?
But you notice I'm not. I said I'm hypercritical. This is my thoughts. I don't have pods where I'm like, you know what? Let me tell the message to the gangs.
But you said,
you niggas keep letting everybody in. You need to stop letting everybody in.
You know what I'm saying? You on the stream right now saying this.
No, I'm telling you my thoughts. So if Candace Owens is sitting
that's
here,
what they telling you they thoughts.
No, they're not. Sometimes that's her platform. Her platform is talking shit about poor black people. Stop doing that.
Okay, but see, look, so let me stop this right now because I'm not taking up for Candace Owens.
So I'm saying, that's the comparative.
I'm not taking up for Candace Owens. So I don't want to let me hold you there. I'm not going to, I'm not taking up for Candace Owens. I'm just talking about if another poor black person came out and said that they didn't, because I thought that's what we were talking about. I thought that we were talking about poor black people or another black person. Not just Candace Owens, any other black person coming out speaking negatively about Sexy Red.
I said the biggest opponent of hip hop is black
people. Right. So
like shout out to DJ Biggs. Soul Train was love, peace, and soul. There was no craziness going on. That's a lie. People thought it was crazy then, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, if he thought there was no craziness with Soul Train, you gotta go.
This hip hop culture emphasizes peace, love, and unity and having fun. That's not true. The message doesn't emphasize peace, love, unity, or having fun. Having fun got lost, which took over everything and went left. That's not true, Biggs. That's a sensationalist view of what hip hop was. Hip hop very much was what was going on in the streets. It didn't matter if it was fun or if it was serious or what it is. They addressed it and dealt with it over records. Some things a lot of mainstream frowned upon that we found pride in. That's the point. It was never just this get along gang. These dudes was fighting each other. They fought because people fight. It's standard. In every version of life, people fight.
That's true.
So again, it's a really simple thing. Like I don't like black people speaking down on hip hop in front of white people.
But if they do it amongst each other.
That was on Joe Budden. That was on Joe Budden platform.
On a platform where the world, and don't say that she's made her whole business talking shit about niggas.
Let them off.
Don't act like y'all don't know Sherry made. Don't act like y'all don't know Sherry. That's Sherry cousin made her business talking shit about niggas.
Oh, that's Sherry. Candace is Sherry's cousin.
Yeah, might as well be.
Oh.
All she do is talk shit about
where is Sherry? She on here?
And I told y'all I recognize Candace Owens black. I explained to y'all a couple podcasts ago. I said if there was people jumping her, I wouldn't let it happen because she a sister.
All right, so let me ask you a question. When somebody's punching down on poor black people, do you forget everything else they say? Do you just stop listening to them at that point? Like, I'm not even listening to your ass no more. I don't give a fuck. Even if you have you ever listened to Candace Owens and said she had the point or two?
Sure. A broke clock is right a lot.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Twice a day. Okay. Broke clock is right.
And like I said, by no means am I taking up for Candace Owens.
I'm not attacking.
I'm saying that she has points here and there, but I'm not
attacking. I am.
I'm not attacking.
You also don't like Martin Luther King, so
I'm not attacking Candace Owens. I'm not attacking Candace Owens. Candace Owens, I've defended Candace Owens. She's a sister. I'm all in for that. I ride with Candace Owens. She's a sister. And sisters, they don't have to live in this level of blackness. Like they don't. They can live their black experience however they want to.
So black women level of blackness is different than black men.
She's just not street urban.
Okay. If she was, she might be different.
What if you found out that Candace
might be like Sexy Red
was hip hop?
That would piss me off even more.
If what? Would you say trap?
I probably want to do something to her.
If you found out that Candace Owens was hip hop.
Imagine she grew up in some ghetto. Imagine she grew up in some ghetto and then she just putting on the show for these wife. I want to kill her.
Hey, hold up now.
I know. Hold on. Where did she grow up at? So we don't have this.
You told me. You talked unalive.
Sure.
Unalive, yeah.
I want to hurt her.
Really?
Yes.
So we got to wrap it up on that one right there.
Like right now, I don't feel betrayed by her. This is the thing. I don't. You know why I don't feel betrayed by her right now? As a black woman, she could have her black experience anyway. I don't care. Like she's still a sister. I don't care if she aligns herself with right, left. I don't care about none of that. She a sister. That's our.
So you go protect her when it comes down to it.
Connecting point.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
But I know she's not hip hop, and that's why I don't want her speaking on fucking hip hop
or anybody in hip hop.
That's why I'm telling you, black people are not innately hip hop.
Okay, but yet again, I'm coming back to that same question. I just want to know: are you saying that black women have a different plight in America than black men? Then, because the way you're saying it, her as a black woman,
definitely.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying specifically on her experience.
So it's just Candace Owens that we're talking about, not all black women.
Yes,
just Candace Owens. You were talking about all black
women. Okay. Right? I don't think all black people views have to be lined up.
Okay.
Because our experience is different. If you're black, that's a racial thing. Right now, hip hop is a very specific part of a population. It's a very way we get down. It's a whole understanding that goes with it, even if people don't understand it. So I don't expect her to have that understanding. I'm not upset at her. I'm just upset as a black woman. Why would you be talking shit about this black woman when there's so many other people you could be talking about?
In a positive way.
And this is my thing about that. So, like I said, I agree because people think I agree with a lot of stuff Glasser says. I think he agrees with some stuff I say too. I don't think at the core of what we're saying we don't disagree. I think that it's okay for black people to have conversation, to talk, figure some stuff out, maybe see somebody else's point of view, maybe not see somebody else's point of view. But at the end of it, my problem with people like Candace Owens is at the core of the problem. I don't know if she sees what it is. I don't know if she understands that, I think she might be a little lost there. Like you could have different opinion with me. Like me and Glasses don't always agree on everything, but in no way, form, or fashion do I look at Glasses like a sellout. Now every blue moon he might get me mad and I call him some bullshit.
Of all the words,
but really deep down, I don't think that Glasses is no sellout. I don't think he's bad for the black people or no shit like that. But Candace Owens, she does come across a little harmful sometimes. Like, and that be my problem with people like Candace Owens. Not saying she'll have points sometimes, but it seems like at the core of the real issues for black people in America, I think that she might be a little lost. And
because again, when we keep saying black, that's stripping it of that. Because every black experience can be a bit different.
And that's true, but I agree. At the core of the problem is there is something.
I think black people have the same experience in America, but I think culturally we don't grow up the same. Like experience loosely being how people treat you,
and that's fine.
Culture being how we treat each other,
and that's fine.
Right?
But we all gotta understand we're still black though.
Yeah, but what does that really mean? Does that mean white people are going to be against you, or does that mean you should care for another black person?
It means both.
But no, it don't mean both to everybody.
Both.
But that's my problem. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean both to everybody.
But what's your focus?
And I agree, it doesn't mean both to everybody. But I think it should mean both to everybody
because it can't.
Yeah, you can have a focus.
That mind state is developed based off of people coming together.
Okay, wait a minute. So what does it not? Okay, I'm just trying to for me to understand what you're saying. So what are you saying? Why do you say it shouldn't be or it can't?
Because that person doesn't quite understand the plight of poor black people, which is how blackness is defined in this country.
Okay, so you're saying that because they don't understand it, they should not, they can't
speak
on it
in a negative
way.
Okay,
because you said that you were saying that black people should have what was the two things you said that black people should have? You said that they should have compassion for other black people.
I said there's two ways to look at black people.
Okay.
Right? Loosely. This is a glasses fact, not a real fact.
Okay.
I think I relate the experience to how people treat you as a black person. Then there's the culture of being black, which is how you treat other people. Right? So black experience is how people treat your black ass. The black culture is how you treat other black people. Right? That's the trick. But I don't think everybody grows up in the black culture. Okay. Everybody in America for sure been treated like a nigga.
Yes.
But everybody also has never had to deal with other niggas.
But I think at the core of it is getting treated like a nigga. And I also think that I think that some black people, like you said, we all were not raised the same. That's for sure. But I think that the black people that were raised the same should have empathy for each other, and the black people that was not raised the same should have sympathy for black people. I think that we should all end up some way understanding that neither side have had it great in this country, and there's a reason why. Yeah, that'd be my thing. We should all understand the reason why.
Yeah, but they're gonna always see white people different.
People, some
90%.
I don't know about 90.
Yeah, they're gonna see white people different.
I don't know about 90 glasses
because there's no way they could have got.
You know black people that grew up in the suburbs?
Yeah.
You know a lot of them. I know a lot of black people grew up in the suburbs because
but I'm saying, do they have history of being in the ghetto? Does they have ancestors being in the ghetto? Like if you have ancestors, if you're not part of what they would call, I don't know if it's true, but the bootleg people that been black and rich in this country for a while. There's people that's been black in this country. They come from generations.
And that's a very small population.
But I think that population is louder than we've ever heard it before. And I think that population is more influential than they were ever. Well, not more influential than they ever were before, but I think you hear it now a lot more than you ever did before. And hip hop gave us a voice when we didn't have a voice before now.
I do agree with that for sure. I agree with that for sure.
So what I'm saying is, it's hard for somebody who's been black and successful in this country to see culturally what is happening or what makes hip hop special, because they don't quite understand culturally why these things are happening. That's why I keep debating with you that hip hop is not black. I get it. I do understand that black people created hip hop, right? The artistic expression of street urban culture. They showed us how, but it's also because of where they were from more than them just being black. That's why there's people there that were Spanish. There were people there that was white, and they all understood it. That's why the connection to us is the way it is as well. Even in all street urban cultures, there's a connection in poor people. And this is something that, Martin Luther King, a lot of people preach there's a connection in poor people. I do agree. Eventually you'll find whiteness when it all comes down to it, but it's true, right? It's like, so in Candace's situation, she's disconnected from street urban culture or acting like she is.
But see, look at what you said right there. You said you do agree when you strip it all down, you're going to find whiteness at the, and see, that's my thing. That's all I give a fuck about. Like we could share we can have differences of opinion on some shit. That's fine.
Yeah, but again, the problem is that's why they think she could speak for us.
Who thinks that?
White people.
Okay, white people want her to speak for us.
No, they think she can.
No, they don't think that she can. They want her to.
Because people,
if
you say black people, if you say hip hop is black, then they can find any black person off the street. You'll never hear people say mafia culture is white.
White people know who to empower. They do. White people. This is why Trump will go get Kanye. Like he ain't gonna go get somebody else who might
definitely go get some niggas. He loves him some niggas.
But he'll go
as long as they got some money and famous.
He'll go get the right niggas.
No, like, I don't think he really went and got Kanye. I think Kanye went and got him. Kanye is a very
and then that motherfucker said, "Oh, hey, Kanye, hey, come on, brother, like you got some shit to say." Like,
shout out to Sherry. She said she doesn't speak for black people. Yes, she does, and that's what you don't get. She does speak for black people.
Who Candace?
Yes, because being black in America,
I don't think she does.
No, I think she speaks.
You're saying
about black people. I think she speaks
black.
I think she speaks about black people.
Listen, white people and black people are different in this country based off of these things. This is kind of the point that you guys argue, right? Which is like the reason y'all feel like Sexy Red should be controlled because she has so much influence because we're a small group here in this country.
I don't think Sexy Red should be controlled.
I'm saying not you. I'm saying that's in the general, thought because right, it's like we're so few that we have so much of an influence on each other, right? Well, that's true. Also, when they find black people to speak for black people, so that's the problem, right? It's like Sexy Red does speak for black people. If you're saying hip hop is black,
but gee, you know they've been doing this shit for years. Even with Christianity, they used to go get slaves who they thought had some cachet with the other slaves, and teach them Christianity and have them go peddle it back to other slaves. And that's what they do. Candace Owens is nothing but that happening in 2025.
Yeah, but even Christianity, that's a loose interpolation because Christianity started in Africa.
Yeah, that's
so
but a different form of Christianity. No, for sure. A different. I know about this. I've taken classes on this.
Sure.
So it's a different form of Christianity.
You took your white classes. Hold on, you took your white classes.
But what I'm saying is Christianity is not anti-black. It can be used as a weapon.
America's Christianity is low-key anti-black.
White people pervert
and they weaponize it.
No, white people pervert everything. White people will pervert a stapler.
So America's Christianity, I'm not gonna say it's anti-black, but it's anti-rebellion. They've been using Christianity to keep people in line for a long time.
They enslaving.
But that's not even true.
You know.
Again, I'm not talking about what you said.
Okay.
I'm saying what he said.
Well, I said enslaving.
It's not like Christianity is what it is. How you use it is up to the person using it, right? It could be great, bad, good. It could be anything, right? It depends on how you use it. A book can be used to educate you, or it can be used to knock somebody unconscious over the head. Okay. So I'm saying somebody misusing something. Like one thing I don't like to do is talk shit about no religion, because religions historically brought the best out of humans, but humans can use it to bring the worst out of people.
So historically, the religions have also brought the worst out of humans.
Humans bring the worst out of humans, and they will fight over a sweater or a cross. Humans will find a way to fight over everything. Right now, humans will find, like,
I'm a Christian, but I know for sure Christianity has killed more people than, and we can say the humans are the people that making the act, but it was over Christianity. Christianity killed millions.
But again, it's over the protection of something. See, that's what I'm saying. People protect the source of their power. You know who don't protect the source of their power? Hip hop. You know who protects the source of their power? Christians.
For sure.
Right? So like that's the point, right? We don't protect the source of street urban culture. We don't protect it, right? We sell it for cheap. You can't sell Christianity for cheap. They make you go to school right now.
But let me ask you this. Do we have the weaponry and are we going to be put in places to be able to protect hip hop properly?
I am protecting no matter which place I'm in.
That's true. But are they going to put you in a situation? Are they going to make your voice as loud as Candace Owens?
But they don't need to make this is the thing, the difference between social currency and cultural cachet.
Okay.
Social currency means everybody listens to you and everybody can hear you. Cultural cachet is when you strike at the heart of something and it's just as influence. It's like the concentrate versus the juice. Like what I got is like Jesus feeding a bunch of people fish with all this shit. What they got is a bunch of people giving away bullshit. It's 1,000 of it. You don't worry about the count. You worry about changing people's heart. Like I could change Kendrick's heart. That's the catch.
Do you not think that Jesus wish he had a megaphone at one point?
I would imagine, but we not. But again, we not blessed enough to have a megaphone. We not blessed enough. It don't matter what we would like to have. You know what I mean? Like it matters what you got, and being, the gratitude for having what you have. So I'm grateful for what I have. I'm not focused on what I don't got. I'm focused on the fact that this cultural cachet, let me use it to the fullest extent. Let me affect change. Let me make it special. Let me make sure I say something that means something. Let me don't play with people. Let me, I'll have my fun, but let me also carry it like I got some sense.
Can we get to 75 likes? We passed 60. We
carry it like I got some sense. So
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah. So it's like Christianity is like, again, that'll be a whole nother conversation, right? Like we could talk about how Christianity formed and my issues with that, right? But that's not
do that Wednesday, please, Coach. You gonna be here?
I don't know if we should talk about Christianity.
Yeah. We can talk about Christianity.
I want to Wednesday, please.
I have my homie that's a priest.
Yes,
brother. That one out.
We'll talk about Martin Luther.
So if he
he's in Catholicism.
Yeah, Catholicism.
But Catholicism created Christianity.
I mean, and preacher gotta bring an imam too.
You said what?
We said a preacher gotta bring an imam too.
What's an imam?
You don't know what an imam is?
Muslim.
A minister?
No, I know that.
Yes.
Oh,
I know you think I know everything.
Yeah,
but I don't know what the fuck.
Well, with the nation, talking to the nation, I would think you would know that.
I never did my history on the Nation of Islam. I'm just realizing right now that Sunni Muslims in America were started by the same person that or the Nation of Islam. I did not know. My son started the Sunni Muslim following in America. Who put that together? I'm still learning shit every day.
We talk about Christianity, man. I'm gonna be scared.
Yeah, Christianity.
Go home tonight.
Christianity is some stuff that I really fuck with. So like
Christians kill you.
Who?
The Christians will kill you. Like I'll be scared to go home at night.
You live in that kind of neighborhood?
And we all live in that type of neighborhood.
No. We don't live in that neighborhood around here. Not in the ghetto.
Shout out to Nate.
Hey, Christianity in the ghetto don't kill you.
Jesus' words are some of the best I've heard. Me too. That's what I appreciate the story of Jesus. Like the words. The words mean everything.
The story of Jesus is the best story ever told.
I agree.
It's the best story ever told. Like we know it's the best story ever told because it's still the best story ever told to this day. You can make can make a movie about Jesus right now. It's gonna be the number one movie.
I like the Book of Enoch.
Every time they make a quality show about Jesus, it's the number one show in America.
Enoch.
Is the Book of Enoch about Enoch?
Yeah.
And Enoch is just like
he's the one that went up with God and never came back.
I'm gonna check out the Book of Enoch.
Check it out.
But they pulled it out. They pulled it out this modern day version. You won't get it. You gotta go to old Bible. They pulled that.
It's not. It was never in the Bible.
Yeah, it was at one time, but they pulled it out when King James got to it.
It was never in the Bible, even before King James. It wasn't. Books voted. I was reading that about the Council of Nicaea. Enoch was never one of the books voted to be in the Bible.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was all. There was a book or books, collection of different books that they had.
Well, they still have.
When they decided to put the books together, they left a lot of that stuff out of there that they thought was going to be controversial to the people.
No, again, Christianity was created to unite people. Whether people understand it or not, it was created to unite humans. It was created to unite Roman people. That's why it was made.
If the Bible is used properly,
can we do this for Wednesday?
The Bible is the most therapeutic thing ever put on earth. Like I think the Bible has gotten people through millions and millions and millions of people through some of the hardest shit they ever been through in their life. But I also think the Bible have killed millions of people in that same vein. So I think that
I think humans kill humans.
I mean, humans are doing the act. True. Humans are doing the act.
And it don't matter what it's over.
They'll find a reason. You said they'll find a reason.
So if it wasn't Christianity, they would find.
They'll find a reason no matter what.
People, shout out to all the homies from Islam. Them people blow themselves off and they blow themselves up.
Blow themselves up.
Yeah, blow themselves
that was crazy.
Up. Bombs and shit. Yeah, feel me? Like people will find a reason to kill and die. I think that's part of living.
That is true. I agree with that.
So it don't matter. It could be Jesus. It could be Allah. It could be Buddha.
It could be your homie.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be really hard
your
for
family
to not find a reason to kill and die.
In saying that, Christianity will kill more people than cancer.
I mean, it's pretty old. It's been around for a long time, and people will find any reason.
Christianity make Hitler look cool,
but it also got many limbs.
No, for sure, it does. It does have a lot of limbs, but. Anyway, man.
So yeah, No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here, noon Pacific Standard Time. Digital Soapbox. Click that thumbs up. How many likes is it?
We got 62. Can we get to
75? Get 3 more? Can we get 3 more to 65? 3 more to 65. Man, shout out to Nick. Thank you for that $5, my boy. Snaps for the lunch table. What's up? That part. Shout out to Kevin Ali. Thank you for the $5. Saying hip hop is black is like saying all Nikes are Jordans. I agree.
That shit is nonsense. What you just said. Who said that? 2 thumbs down.
I kind of like that one. I kind of like that one right there. I like that one. kind of like that one.
Yeah. But I think this was a great conversation. Check out the No Ceilings podcast dropping tomorrow. Conversations that drip. It's a really dope conversation where I had to deal with shit about my car and trying to get it right.
That shit coming along though.
It was cool.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be
you
cool.
got to see it?
He's gonna send me some pictures, man. That shit gonna be hard as fuck.
So
I don't get privy to that.
you can check that out on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast from. No Ceilings Podcast, executive produced by Charlamagne the God, the Black Effect Podcast Network, and iHeart. And we about this thing, man. Much love.
Like.
Yeah.
Like.